Have your sports curiosity cured.
Going deep, first and down there. Touchdown, Packers.
Veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
39. Burrow out to his right, to the end zone. One-hand by Hudson for the touchdown.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
5 catches for Lamb, who sits out this play. 2nd and 1. They got the first, and look out. Here goes Davis. Malik Davis sitting in zone, and the Cowboys take the lead.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Sol 551, Friday, November the 28th. The weekend is here, so let's tear up the old pea patch, clicker into Schnell, and make a fast break to the 11 o'clock hour. It is Feel Good Friday. It is Playlist Friday. If you've got a song that you'd like to hear on Sports 1440 for an intro walk-up song, send it our way at 833-401-1440. And the Duke we'll gladly get it on. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. Listening on your AM radio dial on your morning drive. Really appreciate you coming along for the drive this morning. You can also watch us on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like and a subscription. We would appreciate that. We're also on X, Facebook, and Instagram. As always, the streaming services are loaded up. We got iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, Radio Player Canada on sports1440.ca. If you miss any part of any show as well, you can search it by checking out where all the podcasts are at Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon. Subscribe there. It's free. Select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of any show. Yes, good morning. Thanks so much. You could come with us for a little, spend a little time on the day following American Thanksgiving, where it was Turkey Day down in the States, and it was busy, of course, with 3 NFL games, and we're going to bust a lot of them down, and we're going to talk about the Oilers practice yesterday. They had the big autograph signing at West Edmonton Mall right here. It was packed, loaded. The lines were long. The people were patient. The Oilers were accommodating. And now it's back to business for them as they have a practice this morning and then head out to Seattle for an afternoon tilt tomorrow against the Kraken. Let's welcome in our Monday and Friday co-host, Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion from 2015 and all-decade team. Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning. Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you.
Hey there, Pat.
Top of the morning to you. So, like on a, I know you're like, yeah, everyone's working up here, but do you take a little time on a Turkey Day down in the States to watch?
Well, I had a big drive yesterday. I had to go 4.5 hours each way. Deep south to Fort McLeod.
All the way down there?
Yeah.
Holy
I was on the highway yesterday at 4:45 in the morning.
Did you miss, because I should mention the snow that we got overnight. People, be careful driving.
Yes, absolutely careful out there.
You even
missed
left
it.
a little early?
Yeah, it was bare and dry for me for the most part.
Good.
But yeah, man, I got a good cell plan. I got some good data. So that
you listened to some games?
The phone was propped up. I got the TELUS TV app.
Oh,
so I had a little video playing. You know, I was a little
driving.
up and down. The eyes were up and down, mostly listening.
But you're listening. Yeah,
But yeah, I had it
listening.
on. It's like the radio. It was nice. It was very nice to have that first game on.
So what time did you leave in the morning?
4:40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I got back by 2:15. So it was quick turn and burn. I got down there, saw a guy I do some business with for about half hour, and right back at it. And honestly, normally I wouldn't. Normally we would just send the products to the customer, but his wife is going through breast cancer. I wanted to be with him, just support him a little bit, see him in person.
You're one of a kind, Eddie.
That's what it's about, man.
Yeah, relationship, everything like that. Did you make it all in one shot going down there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All in one. Yeah, stopped actually on the way back. Got gas on the way back north. And I, of course, brought my oatmeal and ate my oatmeal. Got that all heated up at the gas station.
Okay, where did you stop on the way back for your...
Claire's home.
Okay, Claire's home. And what did you eat?
My oatmeal, I brought it in a bowl.
No, on the way.
Oh, down?
No, on the way back. You're obviously stopping at some drive-thru.
No, man, my oatmeal, KK. And on the way down, I brought some hard-boiled eggs. I had some pizza last night though, so that's I got to make up for a couple milkshakes too.
So then you probably got back in time to watch the Kansas City game.
Yeah, it was good.
Exciting.
Exciting. All the games, had a good little thrill to them for the most part.
Yeah. The other thing, and I wanted to mention this because I didn't watch the Green Bay game because we played hockey yesterday, but when I'm watching the Cincinnati-Baltimore game, and I watched, because I want to tie this into the Oilers, at halftime, they had a really nice piece that was narrated by Andy Reid about John Madden. And, one of the things that they were talking about on the broadcast, Eddie, is that most people think of John Madden as the video game. Most people think of him as an analyst. Less and less people think of him as a coach, but he was a hell of a coach. And they had the piece on him and about what his coaching philosophy was. And they interviewed a few of his players. And this is sort of how I'm going to tie it in with the Oilers. And did you know that basically John Madden had 3 rules when he was coaching, Eddie?
What were they?
The first one was show up on time. The second one was pay attention. And I mean, those are pretty easy. And so was the third one. Play like hell.
Bare minimum.
You think about
bare minimum
how coaches complicate everything and how everything is complicated by fans, media, players, coaches, whatever. That's as simple as it gets.
It's the bare bones of it, man.
And they interviewed Art Shell, and I think you remember him. He used to coach.
I remember.
He coached Oakland later. He was a big lineman for John Madden back in the day when they won the Super Bowl. And he said, we played so hard. And the guy said everyone wanted to be a Raider.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about this is what the Oilers need.
I get to thinking,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm here listening to you the past couple of days, been on the road big time. So I'm listening to you and Laddie, listening to you and Schlemmer. Yeah. And there's one constant that sticks out to me that I just can't wrap my head around when it comes to watching these Oilers. It doesn't compute with me as a former professional athlete. It doesn't register, Kevin. And I don't know how they can come up with answers or excuses. And that is what you just hit on. And that's the effort, the grit. Because, Kevin, check this out, man. You've heard me say this many times. If I'm not sprinting to the ball, they're going to get someone else up to sprint to the ball. And what's even worse, that next guy that they bring up, say he's from the practice roster, like a Kyle Clattenburg. Yeah. If he sprints harder than me, that is a terrible look. I don't want to cuss because I'm fired. That is a terrible look.
For sure.
And this entire Oilers roster has zero desire to put out that max effort to the puck, that max effort in front of the net. And it pisses me off that they have guaranteed contracts that these guys can't get replaced, because I'm used to getting replaced with that type of effort. These guys can't go anywhere. They're lucky. They have a good union, because in football, if you're not sprinting, we'll find someone else who's going to sprint harder than you.
And I would say I would rather compare, say, the NFL to what the NHL is. And that's because, we're talking CFL, NFL, and obviously NHL here. So think of a guy like Turpin last night or yesterday. George Pickens falls on the ball, fumbles the ball. If Turpin doesn't hustle his ass over there, just what you're talking about, he's probably gone.
Exactly, man. It's the hustle, and that's what you can control.
It's max effort. And again, when I was listening to that narration by Andy Reid last night, it's all I kept thinking about the similarities and what the Oilers are and what they could be and what they have been.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's even more frustrating is they've shown that. And I have a question for Greg, not to let the cat out of the bag with what I wanted to ask him, but it's the same roster essentially as last year.
No,
the decor.
Okay, yeah.
The decor. That's where I'm at, is the decor. Because there's a lot of questions around how porous their defense is in front of the net, giving up some of the 31st in goals given up this year. 31st out of 32 teams in the league. It's bad, man.
That's commitment to defense.
But it's the same decor. And going in, these guys were ranked, projected to be like a top 5 decor.
They were.
Is it coaching or is it the players? And
I think it's the players.
Me too. In these, I feel like there is a serious complacency. There's no threat, man. There's no threat for your job. There's no threat to be benched. There needs to be a threat.
Well, again, see a guy like Clattenburg coming in and how he performed, Eddie, that is that's an indictment to the rest of the
It's
team.
terrible. Okay, so check this out. You got A, on the one end of the spectrum, a 20-year-old kid in Clattenburg, and then B, the only other grit they had on the other end of the spectrum was a 40-year-old Corey Perry. Outside of that, the core of this roster is soft as puppy crap.
There you go. Eddie's fired up this morning. 7:10 in Edmonton. We'll talk about the Oilers with Jason Greger as well, coming up at 7:20. The Oilers will practice again today. They had the mall signing last night. Then they'll head out to Seattle and try to max effort. Max effort. That's all you're looking for. People will make mistakes in every sport. But if you go hard on every play,
It's forgivable.
and think hard, because in my mind, half the time the Oilers, you might say that they're doing things, but they're not doing it smartly. And that's, you can break down all the plays. And if you look at all those goals from the other night against Dallas, Eddie, there were every goal in the first period, the Oilers outmanned the Stars on the ice at various points on the ice. Outmanned them. So that just tells me that you're not invested in what your job detail is. And that can be physically and almost more so the way things are going mentally.
And the physical is the easy part. At least you can be there. Mentally, it's hard, the confidence and all that. I've been there. It's tough to shake out of that rut mentally. But at least when you're in a mental pit, man, I can put my head down, bring my lunch pail and go work.
Yeah.
And they don't even do that.
Exactly. Let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne on a Friday morning, getting ready for the weekend, Duke.
Of course.
I can't imagine the fun that's going to be happening with you and the couch and everything.
Big, oh yeah. Thanks for enlightening everyone by that, big time social life. No, big Tropics game tonight.
Oh,
Friday night game. They're rare, man. I tell you what, I'm missing the Senior Outlaws game in Delburne for it because just, you got to stack your priorities a little bit here. In Beaumont. And there's
which barn?
I think the new
The
one.
old one? Or the new
I
one?
think the new one. I've played them both. I actually haven't checked the app yet, or our team's app to know what rank. But the plan is, and I discovered this place, and I don't mean discovered it for me personally. Last time we played in Beaumont, there's like a little dive bar right on Main Street. I think it's called like 5 O's or something. What a spot. I can't wait. I think we're heading back there post game tonight. The Trops are to go rip it up a little bit.
Trouble.
It's exciting.
It is very exciting. So that's essentially my weekend plan. When you mix that in with rivalry week in college football tomorrow, I'm working pre and post tomorrow as Walker is down in Las Vegas for the weekend, and then NFL Sunday. What more does a guy want?
Text 833-401-1440. Northside Adam says, yeah, Eddie, get you some, bro. I'm fired up too now. Look at Eddie. You've got everybody going.
Man, we know where we live. It's Edmonton. It's blue collar. You can get by and you can have a good life if you're willing to work hard.
Well, yeah, and that's all it is. Just work your ass off. We'll see what the Oilers line up today. I mean, Kapanen came back, was injured at practice, appeared yesterday. He left the ice. Jack Roslovic didn't practice. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is back. He'll probably, not probably, he will be in the lineup tomorrow. He was on a line with Clattenburg and Mangiapane. So we'll see exactly where they go. I mean, because it changed. It was Hyman back up with McDavid yesterday with Savoy, but Coles and Draisaitl, and they started with Kapanen, but we'll have to see exactly where that goes. On the fourth line was Frederick, Henrique, and Lazar. But if Roslovic can't go, that lead, and Kapanen is a question mark. Well, now we'll see exactly where they are moving forward. I should mention the curling yesterday, and Christina Black is continuing to be the story here at the Canadian Curling Trials in Halifax. She beat Carrie Anerson 6-3, so it'll be Black versus Holman in the best of 3, which starts today. Addie Dunstone, the sheriff, responds and rebounds after a really poor showing at the tail end of his round robin. He beats Mike McEwen 9-5, so it'll be Dunstone up against Brad Jacobs in the other final championship best of 3, which starts today. So this is you're getting a best of 3. You're going to see exactly what you have for a Canadian champion, because sometimes in one game, you can do it. But if you got to beat someone in a best of three, it's a little bit different. Coming up on the big program today, we got Jason Greger, as we mentioned right off the hop here at 7:20. It's the Alberta Bowl, high school football championship, Friday and Saturday, because some games start today. But the 4A championship has AOB, Austin O'Brien up against Holy Trinity. We'll have Devin Hogan, head coach of AOB, and it was I could show you the bit of a milk run that we had trying to get him on the air last night. It was quite funny. And then I thought someone was playing a trick on me. I honestly thought someone was playing a trick on me. And then he called back, but they were at practice and things like that. So it was just a different thing.
Man, that just goes to show your fortitude, though. 35 years in the biz, you will not be denied.
Well, here's the main thing. Like, I got the number from Tim Anger from Football Alberta. He goes, but I'm not sure if this is his last number. And it's the area code 289. And I'm like, okay. So I don't know anything about Devin Hogan. I just talked to him last night. But so I check. So what do? I Google what area code is 289. It's somewhere in Ontario.
Huh.
So I don't know. So that's maybe a question that I'll ask him. But anyway, he's coming on at 7:40 because he doesn't have a whole lot of time. Zach Pearson from the Bears Report at 8 bells covers the Chicago Bears. That's the Black Friday game today against Philadelphia, 1:00 kickoff. Ryan Payton from Sirius XM NHL Radio and Pucks and 7 podcast will guest with us at 9:20. We've got Paul Sir from Hoop City at 10:00 and Al Kaniski, Seattle Kraken analyst, at 10:20. When we come back, Jason Greger from the Jason Greger Show. That'll be right after the break. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Greger at sports1440.ca to get started.
Vimy and Donnan Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vimy and Donnan have to offer. Visit vimyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in stock, ready to deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Hey, you know winter is really freaking cold, right? So play it smart. Don't get caught freezing in your car with your pants down and no power. At Big Toy Shop right now, lead-acid batteries are just $129. $129 is a great price for a good start. Big Toy Shop. Power up and save some bucks at Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road, 780-298-2797.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Nectar.io. Learn more about how we can help your business automate processes, streamline operations, and save money at Nectar.io. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:20 in Edmonton. Time now for the puck report. And this kind of ties into the morning drive. Be careful out there. We had a little snow overnight, and that real first snowfall always kind of wreaks a little havoc. Even Eddie Steele left early this morning. So the puck report brought to you by Fountain Tire. If you've been putting off your tire changeover, really, it's not the time to do so. Get them changed over, and Fountain Tire has up to 15% off select tires right now. Roll in, save big, drive out ready for whatever the season throws at you. Check them out at fountaintire.com as we check in with Jason Greger, the host of the Jason Greger Show, 2 to 6 right here on Sports 1440. Morning, Gregs. You're with Kevin Karius and Eddie Steele. Thanks for coming on a Friday morning, big guy.
Yeah, no problem, fellas. How you doing?
Did you watch a lot of football yesterday? Or, I mean, I know the one game is on in the morning. I know you were down at Oilers, and then the game here is when you're on, but the other one at night. Did you have hockey or something last night with the kid, or what?
Yeah, we had hockey practice last night, so I'm happy I didn't watch it because I have Lamar in fantasy, and he was terrible last night.
He was really bad, wasn't he? Because we're going head to head this week.
We are, yeah. I'm on St. Brown. Tough one.
I know. Yeah, well, basically, Amon St. Brown was eradicated by Lamar Jackson. I mean, two bad performances. Well, one guy never played. One guy didn't play at all. So,
oh well, 9 points to 0. I'll still take the 9, but yeah.
Well, we'll see. It's a long week. Here.
Have you won anything lately, Kate? I guess you didn't. You sweep Duke? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
you're in the mix.
3-0 yesterday.
You're in the mix.
I was third place last year.
It's been a tough year for you, though, pal.
I was third place last year. Stop it.
It's coming up, Eddie, though, on 20 years since he has won the league, though. So it's pretty
17.
So pretty much all you are is
just because you finally won after 20-some years. You finally won.
Hey, you guys hear this? The truth is coming out, the true emotion, KK. But what you are is you're a donation bin. That's what you are.
Listen, we heard this from Greg's for years, for 2 decades. And then he finally got lucky because Jongajin couldn't feel the proper lineup in the final. It's awful. Embarrassing. Anyway. We talked about the Oilers, and you know what? Last night, if you get a chance to watch the piece that Andy Reid narrated about John Madden because of Thanksgiving Thursday, Greg's, try to find it. I'm not sure where it's got to be out there, but it was.
It'll be on YouTube.
Yeah, it was during halftime, and just there were so many comparisons about what the Oilers are right now, what they were, and what they can be. Just about his kind of coaching philosophy and how hard the Oakland Raiders played, because this was about Madden coaching, and I was using the analogy to Eddie earlier in the show to start things off, but just simple things like it's hard work and play like hell, and that was his mandate, and his players did it for him. And right now the Oilers aren't playing like hell. They're not playing hard. They're not playing fast. They're not playing smart, and that's a simple thing for me.
The talk of the Oilers system being the problem is I just think misguided. And it's all you got to do is go watch the highlights of the goals against, and you'll realize that none of them are systemic breakdowns at all. You've got guys overskating pucks who should never do it. You've got guys making errant passes in the offensive zone right to the other team, goes the other way, they score. You have board battles where you have 2 guys and you just lose a battle to one guy. That's inexcusable. It just shouldn't happen. And their front of the net coverage is just, they might be the softest team in the league in front of their net right now. So a lot of it comes down to players individually. Are they mentally tired? Maybe. But again, that's an excuse. Florida's went to 3 straight cups. Tampa went to 3 straight cups before that. You can't tell me they're the only team in history who's ever gone to 2 cups in a row. Like, sorry, that doesn't jive. But the thing is, despite all of that, the Oilers are 2 points out of the playoffs because there's not a lot of dominant teams. You know, take Colorado out of the mix, and there's not a massive amount of separation. So Edmonton starts this stretch now. They're going to play one game in 6 days. That's going to be tomorrow in Seattle. And really, it'll be 2 games in 10 days because, you know what, they had a few days off before Tuesday's debacle. And then they start a 5-game homestand against teams who, you know, outside of Minnesota, none of those other teams are real big juggernauts. They get a real favorable schedule against Winnipeg, who's playing their 6th game in 9 days, including second half of a back-to-back. Like, if the Oilers don't take advantage in their 5-game homestand, and like really, if I look at, you know, this Seattle road game where Seattle's probably on paper the best team for Edmonton to play right now because they don't generate a ton of high danger chances. They're 28th in offense. They're a really good defensive team, but they don't score a lot. And right now, Edmonton's a terrible defensive team. So if you want to start digging out of the hole, you'd rather play, like if they're playing Colorado tomorrow, I'd be like, oh my God, close your eyes and, you know, watch through your fingers as it might be a debacle. But Seattle doesn't generate much. Now, if they come out of Seattle and they've given up high danger chance after high danger chance, then their issues are even deeper because that's a team that ranks near the bottom in goals, but also the bottom in creating high danger chances, which has been the Oilers' biggest weakness defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Greg's, I read your article online on Oilers Nation, and you know some numbers out of the article. The Oilers are 31st in the league in goals against at 3.72 a game, 31st in goals against 5-on-5 at 2.64. Most slot chances given up this year, and that's the juicy area of the ice where everybody scores. 71 slot chances given up, high danger. Now, I asked Kevin this question earlier in the program. It's essentially the same decor. I know Jake Wallman's injured right now, but it's the same decor heading into this season, and they were projected to be a highly ranked decor. Where would you, if you had to land a needle in terms of pointing the blame, I guess, would it be more coaching staff or would it be more players? Because it's not like they parachuted in a whole whackload of new players here.
No, I to me, it falls solely on the shoulders of your defense core. You're right. Everybody outside of Edmonton around had the Oilers ranked as a top 5 defense group in the league, and they can move the puck, and that's the thing. Their puck movement this year hasn't been very good. Like Matthias Ekholm hasn't played very well at all. Darnell Nurse has played below stat. Brett Kulak had the first 10 games of November were the worst, probably consecutive 10 games of his career, at least the last few seasons. Like that guy's been Mr. Reliable, not flashy. A lot of games you don't notice him because he's just making the smart, simple play all the time. And you noticed him a lot, unfortunately, at the start of the month. Evan Bouchard in October was terrible. He's come on, and then he, like everybody, had a bad game against Dallas. So yeah, I Ty Emberson is really the only defenseman that I would say who's playing up to the level you expected. He's a plus player 5-on-5. He's outshot the opposition when he's on the ice 5-on-5. Like, what more do you want from your number 6 defenseman? Now, the problem is he plays the fewest amount of minutes and hasn't even played every game. So yeah, like Jake Wallman, when he's in, hasn't been as good as you would like defensively. So to me, it falls on their collective group of defenders. Their top 5 D-men haven't played close to their potential yet.
Jason Gregor with us on Sports 1440. What do you make of yesterday's practice there? Kapanen left and Roslovic wasn't there.
Janmark wasn't on the ice either. Yeah, the Kapanen play was really brutal time. And I talked to Kasperi earlier in the week, and man, he was jacked up. He's been out almost a month. And I thought he played really well when he came in the playoffs. And I actually thought his first 6 games this season, he picked up and was basically the same guy, right? Can skate. I think he figured out that, you know, it took him a long time, but he's figured out, like, I just need to be more consistent and how to play more consistent. And he was very open about it. And his reaction told me everything I needed to know. Like, guys, you know, you'll get banged up in practice sometimes. You know, guys will connect knees or what have you, or you take a stick in the face, but you could tell right away that it wasn't good. I know that he was out. It was an MCL the first time. And, you know, I don't know, like, if you re-aggravate it, it's not because he wasn't close. Like, he told me, he goes, I wish I could have played Tuesday. I felt I was ready, but the doctor's like, no, you got to have a few more practices. And it was the last drill of practice. And like, I hope, like, there's 2 ways I've talked to trainers. Sometimes a guy, and Eddie might attest to this, you play and it feels the worst, and you see guys, they're writhing in pain, and then 2 days later, it's not that bad. Where sometimes the worst injuries are the ones where it doesn't even look like much, and the guy tore something because you didn't feel it even. So he was pretty like pissed off. He slammed his stick. The sticks go flying everywhere. I'm sure you saw the video of that. So you hope that it's the former, but I don't know, man. It was his knee. I don't think it looks good. I think he re-aggravated something or just injured something else.
Those tweaks are frustrating, man, especially when you're close and you're on the cusp. And again, going back to what we talked about earlier, Cake, it's the mental, right? You work so hard, you're so close, and then boom, step back. And now you're back in that ditch mentally. Now, Jason, as someone who's covered this team for many years, the good years, the bad years, I got to ask you, like, I get highly worked up about this topic all morning. We've been talking about it. And that is, does this core have a soul? Does this core have a true life to it? Because last year they relied on a 40-year-old Corey Perry to get them fired up. This year, a 20-year-old Connor Clattenburg had to come in there and get them fired up because, quite honestly, no one is willing to go out and work hard. And to me, it blows my mind because in football, on defense, if you're not sprinting to the football, we're going to cut you and get someone in there. Now, due to the nature of hockey contracts, they don't have that threat, that pressure on them, it feels like, to really put forward that effort game in and game out.
Well, I would, they've been to 2 Stanley Cup finals, so I think they have a pulse. I think it's a quiet leadership group. I think it's one that's not overtly emotional. They seem to be a team and a group of players that more so on the let's stay composed type of thing. And, Corey Perry would recognize, okay, things are quiet here. I'm going to stick someone. I'm going to grab someone and fight them. And obviously McDavid and Draisaitl, Nugent, they're not that. Darnell Nurse definitely is a guy who's capable of that. And here's the funny thing. You don't have to do it all the time. You look at Edmonton. Edmonton played 2 games in Tampa and Florida where they played with some emotion. They didn't have glaring giveaways. And guess what? Their goalies faced their 2 most shots of the season, and they made a lot of saves. Now, their goalies weren't great, but they were just fine because they weren't facing high danger after high danger chance. And you're expecting goalies who aren't elite goalies to make elite saves. That's just a stupid formula, right? That's like me saying, hey, why is Matthias Janmark not scoring 40 goals for Christ's sakes? He should be scoring 40 goals. No, you'd say you're an idiot for assuming that he should be even a 25-goal scorer. So I look at their team and I find that they will push back if someone pushes them, but rarely do they initiate. And that's been there for a long time. And I think it's something like there's certain players that I would look at if I was Stan Bowman. I don't know if they'll do it because it's interdivision, but Kiefer sure was the exact type of player they need. A middle 6'4" that hits everybody, can chip in some offense, has an unreal contract, right? He's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, but they need their top guys like Zach Hyman. Now he's coming off injury, and like that wrist injury, it's healed, but he's not 100%. Like he's 100% healthy, but he's not 100% mobility and strength or anything. He just can't be, right? It's probably a year until that thing's fully to the level that it needs to be, right? Like you see him, he's playing, he's got it all taped up and stuff. So, he's not going to be able to be probably as physically aggressive as he wants to be. You talked about the mental side, but I think at times, I'd like to see more of that from Nurse. Nurse should be the emotional leader of their team. I don't even think it should be a question, right? And it's Darnell Nurse used to be every now and then, like, remember, I can't remember the guy from LA that he just went after, got suspended. Like, be a dick sometimes. Be aggressive. Get out. Take a penalty. Take an aggressive penalty. Like, when was the last time Nurse in front of the net made someone pay the price even?
Exactly.
Right? Like, honestly, I don't understand why one of the biggest, toughest, strongest guys in the team in a league that doesn't have a lot of those guys isn't doing that. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And again, it's not even the fighting, but put your stick through someone's back. Make a threat there that you're not going to muck it up in front of our blue paint. But it seems game in and game out, rarely are they willing to go there. And dare I say, Kevin, engage?
Engage. Oh, our favorite word. Might have been Quentin Byfield, I think, Greg's, right?
No, I don't think it was Byfield. It was the defense. Was it Roman Polak? Might have been San Jose. When he jumped him, he got a game suspension. And He got that one. I thought it was a joke when he in the playoffs. That was a ridiculous suspension. But earlier in Darnell Nurse's career, he used to snap a little bit, and he would play where other teams are like, "What's this guy going to do?" And he doesn't have that reputation at all now. Watch him in front of the net. Like, you look at the order for it sometimes, if they're around a goalie, at least the opposing defenseman grabs him by the cuff, pulls him out of there. You don't see any of that in Edmonton, right? Like, I wish their group would play a little bit more engaged, especially in front of that. Now, that is the one thing that I think Mark Stewart could command a little bit more. Guys, I'm done with this, right? We are protecting our house, point blank, and you're going to be more aggressive. Full stop. Like, that's not a hard, you're not asking guys to do something they're not capable of. I'm not saying Evan Bouchard punch guys in the face and get in a fight. Not at all. But protect the house. Protect your goalie. That should be a very simple basics thing and a new standard that should be set.
And one of the worst parts about it is here we are talking about it on the radio, but the other 31 teams across the league, they're watching video and they know. Like, the word is out on this team. They are easy to play against. And until you prove otherwise, it's like playing a team who has a weak offensive line and they can't run the football. Well, there's blood in the water. You are not going to go rush the ball for 50 yards against us because that's just not happening.
The word is out, Eddie.
The word is out on this team. It's the truth, man. They're soft.
Hey,
Soft as
Greg,
puppy
Greg's,
poop.
what's coming up on the show today?
Well, there's lots of, you mentioned watching football yesterday. We'll be able to watch a lot of hockey as it's ongoing. Seattle and Edmonton, the only two teams that aren't playing today in the NHL. So we are going to talk more. I'm going to go down to practice. Got a few one-on-ones I'm going to do with some players. So, we'll get more insight into the orders, like second practice. And I do believe, like, I can't overlook the fact that they've had like one practice prior to, the Dallas game in like 3 weeks. It does. Eddie can attest this. Anybody, even KK in men's league, they ask him if he has a practice, he suddenly can pass a puck. So it helps when you have a practice.
Good.
And they haven't had any. So I do think that will help them. No question. As far as, maybe sharpening things up, because you guys watched the game. Like, did you see the Ekholm on the fourth goal? Matthias Ekholm's at the top of the circle. No one's around him. And he just bobbles the puck. Then he just shoots it away, comes down the other ice score. Look at the last goal of the game. Leon Draisaitl's winding up behind the net. No one on him, and just overskates the puck, loses it into the back of the net. And you're like those are plays that's not systemic. That's not energy. That's just focus. That's just a simple focus that you should be able to handle the puck from some of your best players. And it's happened way too often this year. It's odd.
Thing is, after the Ekholm bobble and miscue, it clears the zone, and the Oilers are still fine. They're man on man. It's 3-on-3. They're still fine.
Oh, yeah.
I
know McDavid just stared at the puck here. He didn't pick up the guy in the slot. Yeah.
Fellas, there is some positive news. They're playing on the road because at home they've given up 21 goals against in the last 3 games.
Look at that, Eddie. Feeling my lines. Thanks, Greg. Have a good show, big guy.
Touchdown against Yowzers. Have a good one, fellas.
That's Jason Greger from the Jason Greger Show from 2 till 6. You'll hear him this afternoon, as you do every day, Monday to Friday. That's the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, she's a little slick out there. Make sure that you're aware. Make sure you're engaged. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Check them out at fountaintire.com. When we come back, we're going to talk a little high school football with Devin Hogan, head coach of the AOB squad, ready to roll against Holy Trinity tomorrow for the 4A championship. That's straight ahead. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
I'm Gene Principe, bringing season's heatings from Legacy Heating and Cooling. For Yuletide comfort, you'll love this Christmas. You should.
Oh, Legacy!
Call Legacy. There's no better way to fix your furnace. You just call Legacy. They're professional, never rude, doll. You should call Legacy. Call Legacy. Plus, no interest and no principal payments for 1 year when you buy with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
If you're looking for nonstop sports coverage, tune into Sports 1440, Edmonton's only sports radio station.
24/7 coverage comes at you with expert commentary, in-depth analysis,
And so much more.
We are Sports 1440.
Watch out. They're back.
I don't know why you treat me like the worst moving company in the region.
Get ready for a new season of the homegrown Crave original, The Office Movers.
All right, should we roll?
The hilarious hit series from creators Jay and Trey Richards.
We're building. We're elevating. We're moving up. New space, new contract.
You guys need to go. A client is freaking out.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
The Office Movers. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Proudly Canadian. Subscribe at crave.ca.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:41 in Edmonton, and it's the Alberta Bowl starting tonight and tomorrow down at Jasper Place. This weekend, high school football. Tomorrow afternoon in the 4A game, we've got the Austin O'Brien Crusaders up against the Holy Trinity Academy Knights, and we've got AOB's head coach Devin Hogan on the horn with us. Good morning, Devin. You're with Kevin Karius and the former Grey Cup champion with the Double E, Eddie Steele. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, fellas.
And you know what? I got to say first, because I mentioned to Eddie, we were playing a little phone and text tag yesterday, and I honestly thought someone was playing a trick on me because your area code number is 289. And I'm like, okay, 289. I'm thinking, is someone messing with me here? But then you guys had practice and everything. So maybe just touch on how your day went yesterday, Devin, to get ready for the big game tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. I'm a 289 number. I'm originally from Ontario, so I kept the area code. I had to keep a little piece of me with there. It's tough rooting for the Leafs this year out here, I'll tell you that. So I had to 289. Yeah, we've been practicing later. We got to go to turf fields now as opposed to practicing at our school field just because of the snow and then how dark it gets earlier in the day now. So we found our practice slots from 7 to 9 p.m. kind of work best for us. We got snowed on pretty good towards the end of the practice yesterday, and that was our last on field or turf session we had. It'll be mostly just a walkthrough and some film at the school, and then we'll kind of let the guys rest and get ready for Saturday at 2:30.
Yeah. So you last week in the semis, it was a 45-0 game over Hunting Hills. What did you take away from that game going into the championship final tomorrow?
I think we took away that give our guys some confidence that we are a good football team who deserves to play in this championship. We got a number 10 ranking from Football Alberta going into this provincial run, and maybe deservedly so. We had a lot of injuries throughout our season, and we kind of had some really high expectations entering the season. We thought we could get to a provincial final, but we had lots of, lots of injuries, and then just didn't really play as well as we probably could have during the regular season. So I think these last 2 weeks in the quarterfinal and the semifinal, where we've had some wins by larger margins, have really given our guys the confidence that they deserve to be in this championship game on Saturday.
Now, Coach, looking at the scores, you're right. You won by some huge margins, putting up 43 points, putting up 45 points in the semifinals. Actually, a 45-0 win. Now, you clearly have some studs on offense. Who should we be looking at here to make some big plays for you in the finals?
I don't think it's any secret. We throw the ball pretty well. Our quarterback, Malcolm Matheson's a grade 12 kid, really good football player. For money, either the best or definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the province. We have two really, really good receivers, and Jeremiah Majani, also a grade 12 kid, and Vincent Horn, grade 12 kid. Both of those guys actually were hurt for a large part of our season, but they'll make some plays. And you know what's been really great is in those two games, we got touchdowns from all over the place. So it wasn't just those two receivers making plays, but we had Alex Sawyer score some touchdowns, another grade 12 receiver, Brady Weeks, first-year football player, score some touchdowns, Josh Gurnett get a touchdown. So we really seen kind of everyone take their game to the top of their level in this last month here, and it's been great, and they've seen success on the field as a result.
Now, Coach, on the flip side, what with your film work and preparation, you look at Holy Trinity Academy, and they've put up some big points and had some dominant wins in their side of the division as well. What is going to be some of the keys to slowing them down in this finals?
Yeah, it's really a contrast of two different stylistic offenses. We, like I said, we kind of make our hay throwing the ball, and they definitely make their hay running the ball. I think when I watched we have to exchange your previous two game films. So when we saw their quarterfinal and semifinal game in provincials, they're probably like an 80-20 run the pass split. So the key defensively for us is going to be to shut down that run game. And kind of just like an interesting story, the offensive coordinator at Holy Trinity Academy used to be the head coach at Austin O'Brien. And he and I actually co-head coached 1 year together, so there's a bit of overlap between us. His name's Darcy Oganowski. We have a really good relationship, and when he was here, he had a very similar offense, really liked to run the ball a lot out of an I-back set or an H-back set with lots of pulling guards, and that's kind of his philosophy, and he stuck to it, and I mean, clearly it's been successful for them down there. So our key defensively is going to be to stop the ground game. And, fortunate for them, the weather looks like it's turning into their favor here with lots of snow we just got today. So we'll have our work cut out for us, that's for sure.
Devin Hogan with us on Sports 1440, head coach of the Austin O'Brien Crusaders. They'll be up against Holy Trinity tomorrow, 2:30 at JP Bowl, part of the Alberta Bowl high school football. I'm extremely disappointed in my co-host, Eddie Steele, Devin, all-decade team for the Eskimos. Never asked you about any defensive linemen here. I mean, I can't believe
They're putting up points, man.
I can't believe it, man.
I'm following the points.
Come on now. Talk about this defensive front that you got there, Devin.
Yeah, our defensive front, I think we're really led by our linebacker core. We got some good D linemen, but we got two grade 12 linebackers, one grade 11 linebacker who really kind of taken a step forward. And again, we finally got all three of those guys healthy at the right time of the year. So they're finally playing some games together now, and they're kind of right spots. And they're real good. They're big. They're strong. They move well. They'll follow the poles. So they're going to be. They know what they're going to be a big key in helping shut down that Holy Trinity run game.
Hey, Devin, I know you got to. Sorry, hey, Devin, I know you got to get rolling here, so won't keep you because I know you got class, and you were saying you got a couple minutes here at about 7:40. So we'll let you go. Best of luck tomorrow. Really appreciate you coming on short notice, and hopefully you can bring home a title for AOB. Thanks for coming on, Devin.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. Enjoy your day.
Hey, bring it home for the City of Champs, baby.
All right, Eddie. Look at that, eh? Why am I asking defensive line questions?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
Man, they're putting up 40 plus points a game in the playoffs, and here you want to talk about a nose tackle.
They pitched a shutout.
I'm kidding.
They pitched a shutout.
Yes,
Come
they
on,
did.
man.
But with 45 points. No, that's good. I heard they have a really good passing attack. I wish I could have asked him one last question, not related really to the game itself, but to his team, and that is if he's getting some kids getting recruited. Because being a head coach, you're going to be dealing with college coaches or coaches from the next level, junior. So I just wondered if some of the talent on his roster is getting recruited already to the next level. Some of these seniors, like that QB, he's got Malcolm.
Yeah, it's great. Honestly, our text thread last night was like, all right. And I texted Duke. I said, I think this guy's going to come on. I texted him at about 6:00, and he got right back. And I didn't get his number till like 5:30. I text him, and he's okay. He gets back, and then I sent him a bunch of other ones, and I'm like, it's like someone's playing a trick on me. You know what I mean? I don't know, like this isn't making sense.
That
And then
practice, man.
Yeah, practice. And then he came back and then he actually phoned and it was great. So that's I really appreciate guys like that for sure. So before we get to the top of the hour and we'll talk a little NFL, I wanted to bust down a couple of games from last night just because of what happened. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, you know, he's out, they say 1 to 2 weeks. Well, he's out the first week here for sure because they play Thursday.
Yeah.
So he just got rolled up on, and that's a big loss. And you got Laporta out already in Detroit. And Detroit's got Dallas coming up.
It's a big game.
If there's a team that's...
I like Dallas, low-key. There's something about... I like them, man.
Why?
I've never rooted for them, but there's something... There's kind of feel good for them right now. I don't know why.
Well, maybe it's because, okay, you either hate or love the Cowboys. That's one thing.
But I don't.
You don't hate them?
I've been very impartial. I think it's more of a Dak thing. Like he gets flack so much and he gets a lot of hate, but man, this guy's a stud quarterback. Like he's leading this team.
Yeah. I mean, he played well. I mean, Mahomes was great. Mahomes throws 4 TDs. Dak throws 2 as the 1 pick. Let's get to the first game.
Yes.
Green Bay and Detroit. You know what the team identity is here of the Lions, but it's suffocating them and killing them. The coach is killing them in decisions on 4th down instead of taking points.
0 of 7 on 4th the last 2 games.
And
I don't know how
drops, you know, like, I mean, Jameson Williams had a hell of a day and then has a big drop.
and how many field goals out of those 7 that they went for that could they have gotten points out of. Dan Campbell, I think they need an OC, and he's been calling the plays here. And it has been shaky, but he had that one game, KK, where they put up, I don't know, 50 points under him. But too much gambling, man.
Yeah,
take the points.
The Lions, you know, the week prior, I mean, was mostly Jamar Gibbs. Packers held him in check, and Jordan Love was really good. Jordan Love with this receiving core that is. There's some high draft picks, some guys that are out, like Golden's out, and I mean Watson's back. So there's guys that have been in. It's not a high profile receiving core, but they get the job done.
They do. Yeah. And if Watson can stay healthy, I like him. I kind of have been following his career a little closer than I typically would because his brother Trey played up here at middle linebacker for the Double E for a point in time. So, you know, you kind of keep up with guys and you see them, and it's pretty cool to see his brother.
We touched on the KC game a bit, but before we go to break here, the Cincinnati-Baltimore game. Wow. I mean, this is a tale of 2 quarterbacks with one guy coming back for last night in Joe Burrow. Lamar Jackson's been back for a few games now and has looked really bad.
He's not right.
No, he looks really bad. And they got hooped on a lot of calls and plays. Like, to be honest with you, the Ravens should have run away with this game. They should have, because the Bengals had opportunities and didn't capitalize.
Didn't put them away.
And then look at the Isaiah Likely fumble, the Flowers
pass interference,
which probably wasn't pass interference. That's a cheap call.
There's some ticky tacks.
Yeah. So there's 2 touchdowns right there.
Zach Pearson, who we're going to have coming up at the top of the hour. Is it top or bottom of the hour?
Top.
It'll be top at 8 o'clock.
That's how it is.
I don't know, man. I hear people say it both ways. That's what
Why would
never
they say
know.
the bottom of the
Man, I don't know. I've heard people say it before.
Bottom of the hour is the 30. Like bottom of the 8 o'clock hour
when
is
you see a
8:30.
clock, Eddie, when you see a clock, Eddie, the zeros are up top. It's 30 on the bottom.
This clock here is digital, so I don't see anything. What are you getting at, Kevin?
Yeah. Well, remember the old clock we had in the old studio?
The one with your face in it. Oh,
Thanks
I
to Big
remember
Billy.
that
I
one.
gave that to my buddy Monty Rutsky for Christmas.
And what'd he do? Throw it right out?
I think it's hanging in his garage.
Dartboard?
No, come on now. Text 833-401-1440. It is Playlist Friday. We've got lots of songs coming in. I love the Schwackhammer Request, Duke. If you can get that one on, by an old Canadian band, one of the top Canadian bands back in the 70s, Eddie.
Okay.
Ever hear of them? They were called from your arch nemesis down the road. That was their band name, was the team name in Calgary, the Stampeders.
Oh, okay.
You ever hear of them?
Never.
Oh, really?
Never.
The Stampeders were, well, I don't even know where they were based out of, to be honest with you. I'm sure they had some guys from Calgary, but I don't know.
I'm curious to see if you'll know my request here at 8:40.
Why don't you have it from a Winnipeg band?
Nah.
You know,
what's his name? My guy Burton.
Burton Cummings.
Yeah, something from Burton.
Yeah, or guess who?
Yeah, Burton's probably the biggest Winnipeg name, though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Dr. Dick Richard, our good friend.
Tricky Dicky.
I remember texting in saying the Oilers were soft as Charmin. Boy, did I get lit up by KK. My, how the tables turn, or the turntables, he says.
Well,
I never ever, when did I ever say that, Tricky Dicky? We've been talking about how soft the Oilers are in front of their own net for all season.
Tricky Dicky, you probably don't got guns like me, so that fear isn't built into KK. There's a real threat across from him.
There's no threat. Coming up at the top of the hour, once again, we'll preview tonight's NFL game. Well, this afternoon's game, I guess 1 o'clock our time. The Chicago Bears in Philadelphia with Zach Pearson from the Bear Report. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Week 13 in the NFL kicking off yesterday with a trio of games on American Thanksgiving. The Packers take a big divisional game over the Lions, 31-24 from Detroit. Middle of the day, KC and Dallas. The Cowboys on the back of Dak Prescott's 320 yards beat the Chiefs 31-28. And the nightcap, another divisional matchup. The Bengals, Joe Burrow's return, 261 yards through the air, a few touchdowns. They beat Baltimore 32-14. At the college level, Navy continuing their strong season. They beat Memphis 28-17. And from the Canadian Olympic Curling Trials in Halifax, semifinal action on the women's side, the hometown team, Christina Black, defeating Carrie Anderson to advance through to take on Rachel Holman in this weekend's best of three. And Matt Dunstone, he beats Mike McEwen, a little revenge from the night previous. 9-5 the final there. Dunstone will take on Brad Jacobs in the men's best of three final. Coming up in hour two of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Zach Pearson from the Bear Report covering the Chicago Bears, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Weekly NFL giveaways, drink specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
The Hockey Super League is proud to launch its 9th season, delivering independent, borderless hockey. This year, over 125 teams will compete across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and for the first time ever, Colorado, USA, which showcase style action, cross-province rivalries, and a strong commitment to player development. The HSL is the premier destination for families seeking balance and athletes chasing the next level. The Hockey Super League. Hockey without limits. For athletes born in 2013 to 2018, visit hockeysuperleague.com to learn more.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal, and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie, fries, and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
A veteran of the Edmonton sports scene for over 3 decades, the Kevin Karius Show, powered by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program just after 8 o'clock in Edmonton. Big Black Friday football game coming up here this afternoon. Chicago Bears, Philadelphia Eagles, and time now for the old Zach Attack, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Hey, we got winter tires, and they are tires at cost. You betcha, tires at cost, but don't believe me. Check them out for yourself at northgategm.com as we welcome in Zach Pearson from the Bear Report, covers the Chicago Bears. Morning, Zach. You're with Kevin Karius and former Grey Cup champion Eddie Steele. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Hey, anytime. Anytime I can talk about meaningful football with the Chicago Bears, you got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, and no one would have thought that this year. I mean, to think that the Bears lead the NFC North at this time of the season. What's the reaction in Chicago with Chicago atop the division going into this game with Philly, Zach?
Yeah, well, the fans are excited. Obviously, it's when the Bears are good, the city, has a different buzz to it, I'd say. But, in the locker room and with the franchise and the players, they're not satisfied. They know there's a lot of work to do. They're winning close games. They're winning these one-score games, but they haven't achieved most of their goals yet. So it's kind of just head down, go to work, and like I said, they have a chance now to win a game on the national stage and kind of make a statement.
Go ahead, Eddie, if you got one.
Yeah, absolutely, Zach. Now, a lot of pundits talk about the Chicago Bears, and you look at their record, and you mentioned the one-score wins one-score games that they've been a part of, that they've come out on the right side of. Now, I don't really care when it comes to football. A win is a win. You beat who's lined up in front of you, on to the next week. Now, is most of the success this season due in part to the head coach, Ben Johnson, and what he's been able to instill in this locker room?
Yeah, 100%. And, I agree with you. A blowout win counts the same as a one-score win or a close win. So, yeah, you don't apologize for winning in football. With Ben Johnson, 100%. Just look at last year. They were really bad in one-score games under Matt Eberflus, and there was no belief, in the locker room at all. Things went downhill in a hurry. 1 year ago, now, Matt Eberflus ruined Thanksgiving for Chicago, essentially. So, it's Ben Johnson, what he's instilled into this locker room. He's got these guys believing. I mean, they're saying, Caleb Williams said in his presser, I believe it was on Tuesday, he said, the biggest difference is we have belief now. We believe in the offense. We know we can go down and do it. The defensive players, when the offense has to go out and win these games, they've pretty much all said, we know, we're not really worried. We know the offense can go down and score where, last year they publicly didn't say it, but you could kind of feel like, okay, this game's over if it comes down to a final drive or something like that.
Zach, just sticking in the vein of Ben Johnson, is he as serious as a dude that he portrays on TV to the media and to the locker room on a day-to-day basis? Yeah,
he's serious. He also, he's got a kind of a funny side to him too. He's a little light at times as well. But for the most part, he's pretty serious when it's talking about football and going through those types of things. He pretty much is what you guys see on TV and in the video pressers. He's 100% authentic.
Zach Pearson from the Bears Report, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. You mentioned Caleb Williams. How much growth have you seen in the quarterback compared to last year? And I would imagine that, ball protection is at top of the list for Williams and how he's performed this year.
Yeah, there's been improvement. Is he where he's, is going to end up being? No, I think there's still a lot of room for growth. There's still a lot of room for, that improvement to get better. And he's definitely improved from last year from what I've seen. But there's still areas where, you got to protect the football when you're scrambling. You got to be a little bit more accurate on some of these throws. The easier throws he kind of struggles with, which has kind of been a problem. But you look at him, he's the type of quarterback, he'll make some wow throws where you're like, oh, that's just insane to make. Mm-hmm. And then he'll miss kind of, a wide open, 10-yard crossing route or something like that. So I think he's where the Bears expect him to be under Ben Johnson. I look at this, he's only had 11 games under Ben Johnson and in an off season. So I think another full off season and next year is kind of where we might see it fully all come together.
Mm-hmm. Is the biggest story in this game the health or non-health, I guess you could say, of the Bears linebacking core, Zach?
Yeah, I think so. Last year, last week, they were without their top 3 linebackers. This week, they're without their top 4. For whatever reason, the Steelers didn't attack the middle of the field where those linebackers are at. I think the Eagles will. That's a little bit of my worry. I would say that's probably the advantage, Philadelphia there. But the Bears are getting Jalen Johnson back and Kyler Gordon in the secondary. So I think that's a big boost for them. Nashawn Wright and C.J. Gardner-Johnson have played well. But yeah, this kind of feels like one of those games where, I think the Bears will probably have to force a couple takeaways and put up some points early in this one.
Zach, you mentioned attacking the middle of the field. How about rookie draft pick Colston Loveland? How would you rank the season he's had thus far at the tight end position for them?
Yeah, pretty good. He had an injury when they drafted him, so he missed a little bit of the off season. Had a slow start to the season. That was kind of expected, but I think it's the last 6 to 7 games he's pretty much been on par with the other, Tyler Warren, the Colts rookie tight end. 3 touchdowns in the year. He's becoming that kind of go-to guy outside of Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. Kind of a big-bodied tight end where, we saw it against the Steelers. He can separate and he's a big target for Caleb Williams down there in the red zone. And I think that's going to continue.
Zach, I have a question, and it draws the most interest out of me because this is a kid from U Sport, played in the Canada West Football Conference. That's the conference I played in up here in Canada. And that would be Theo Benedict at the tackle position. Unsuspected, came in, had some good games. I believe he got banged up. And do you know if he's due to be back up this week at the tackle?
Yeah, he's fully healthy this week. The Bears have a decision to make, though, because the rookie Ozzie Trapillo filled in last week and played pretty well. But we'll see who starts today. Ben Johnson really didn't reveal; he just kind of said we'll see. But yeah, with Theo, he's been a pleasant surprise. I mean, last year he was there on the roster, but you never really thought he was going to have an impact at all. And then this year, in training camp, he goes and he puts himself in that competition for left tackle. He really wasn't even, he was an afterthought for that competition. He played so well in training camp that they put him at number 2. And then, even though he lost out to Braxton Jones, when they made that switch week 4, I believe it was, against the Raiders, the offensive line, changed. And he's been pretty good. He's a lot better in run blocking, I'd say. He's still got some things to work on in pass blocking, but you can get those things fixed. At the very worst, I think he's a very good backup if that's what his path is.
Zach Pearson with us from the Bear Report on Sports 1440. Who's been the best defensive player this year for the Bears? Is it Montez Sweat?
He's up there. Honestly, it's been Tremaine Edmonds, Kevin Byard. I think any one of those 3 you could probably make a case for. Tremaine Edmonds having a career year, 4 interceptions, was on pace to have, I think, like 130 total tackles. But Kevin Byard has 5 interceptions and is tied for the league with his teammate, Nashawn Wright, who has 5 as well. So honestly, I think any one of those 3, you could throw Wright's name in there as well. But yeah, all veterans, which is good to see as well.
Now, Zach, I was taking a peek at your Twitter, your X, and I would agree with something you put out there. Do you personally think the NFL has a bit of an officiating problem?
Yes, 100%. Here's the thing. With me, it's frustrating because you can, let's say this Sunday, you could watch 4 different games and see 4 different interpretations of the rule or something called like pass interference or hands to the face, things like that, holding. It's not a consistent product, in terms of the officiating week to week. It's all over the place. And there was bad calls all day yesterday in all of those games. But yeah, I think it's frustrating where, for the fans, you're trying to tune into a good product, and, a call kind of alters a game. So, but honestly, I think you could say it with any level of football too. College, I think, is kind of the same way, but I don't know maybe they make the refs full time instead of part time and train them all off season. I don't know, but yeah, it's a little interesting to watch.
It's crazy to say. Which game yesterday do you think was the worst officiated?
Oh man, yeah, I probably the Packers Lions.
Yeah.
There
was some
missed
questionables.
Yeah, missed pass interference on the Lions. It looked like Christian Watson got held, and it was a bad day for that crew in Detroit.
That timeout debacle where they awarded Green Bay the timeout where he visually clearly was late after the fact getting that timeout called. Questionable stuff, man.
Yeah, and
you don't even know what a catch is anymore, too. I'm still confused on what's going on. I mean, I see the argument both ways, but I guess that's kind of the consistency thing is we just don't know what a catch is.
Well, and when you hear when they have the referee on site with the broadcast crew and they're arguing with the broadcast analyst, that's like, I heard and saw and watched a lot of the KC game with Romo going at it with whatever his name was.
Gene's territory, I believe.
Who it was, yeah. So, you can go at this a long ways for sure. Hey, Zach, just for keys for today's game to, for the Bears to win their 9th, and I don't think a lot of people had them pegged to win 9 games this year, but for them to go into Philly and upset the Eagles, what do you think the keys would be for them to do this?
Yeah, they gotta win the turnover battle, which is something they've done pretty much almost every game. There's probably 1 or 2 games. I think Baltimore, they lost it and lost the game. They gotta win the turnover battle. They have to score off of those turnovers. And their defense has to get pressure on Jalen Hurts, and they can't let him escape the pocket and find his wide receivers. I think if they can do that, they'll be fine. It's a tough game. Philadelphia is a really tough place to play. And I think the Eagles have only lost like 10 or so games over the last 6-7 years there. They're really good at home. So, yeah, it's going to be a rowdy environment. But it's also an environment where I think if the Bears come out and they can score and force a couple of 3-and-outs, I think the Eagles fans will maybe turn on the team a little bit, maybe boo them. So I think that'd be kind of key to get out to a hot start as well.
Philly fans wouldn't boo their team, would they?
No, definitely not. But they're great fans. I don't want to talk bad about them.
We got to wait for a month before they start throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. So
no, that's true. That is true.
Yeah. Just a couple of offensive players that you've thought how they've played this year, in DeAndre Swift and Rome Odunze.
Yeah, with Swift now, it's it's kind of a running back by committee or shared approach now with the rookie Kyle Monungai. Swift had a kind of a slower start to the year, and then had a couple of big games. Like game at Washington, really had the play of the game for the Bears, where he went down the sideline for a touchdown. He's been fine. He's in an interesting situation because I think a lot of backfields now have multiple guys. So, and he's not he's not a selfish guy from what I know. So I think he's played a little well. And then Odunze, same thing. He kind of got off to a hot start, had a touchdown in, I believe, the first 5 games of the season. And then it's kind of, struggled a little bit with drops here and there. He's still probably the Bears' primary target for Caleb Williams. When they need to play on 3rd down or, anything like that, he's looking at Rome Odunze. It'd be nice to see him get back into the end zone. And he could be a key today, too, going up against these really good Eagles defensive backs.
Yeah, just one last one for you on the Chicago sports landscape. How much are the Hawks kind of drawing interest in the sense, they're starting to turn the corner here and some great young players and, obviously with all the Stanley Cups and with Taves and Kane and some great years, are you getting the feel here, Zach, that they're starting to get back on that track?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, my father-in-law is a diehard Hawks fan. That's his number one team, and he texted me the other night, me and my wife, and he said something along the lines of, wow, I can actually watch them without getting upset and turning it off after the first period. So that should tell you. But yeah, no, they're exciting again. They're not a contender this year, obviously, or anything like that. But they've looked a lot better than what they've have looked in the past. I think they got a good core, obviously, with Bedard at the center of it. So yeah, for me, I can watch them as well. Like, I can sit down and actually watch them, and even when they lose a 1-0 game to Colorado, they played pretty well in that game. That's what we're kind of waiting for here, because it's been a couple of years of just hockey, just bad hockey here.
Hey, Zach, thanks so much for this. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. Enjoy the game today and the rest of Thanksgiving weekend. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, that's Zach Pearson from the Bear Report, covers the Chicago Bears. On the Zach Attack, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet. And again, winter tires are ready to rock and roll here. And if you were driving out this morning, be careful again. Great people at NorthgateGM.com. This truck's for you.
And the Blackhawks only lost to Colorado 1-0.
1-0, yeah.
Jeez, that must be nice.
A little better, 9-1.
Jeez.
Did you know, Eddie, that the Oilers...
What are you laughing at, man? You're dying over there. What are you laughing at?
Did you know the Oilers have given up 21 goals in their last 3 home games?
I heard that.
You know what the games were?
Colorado.
Yeah.
Columbus. I know the Columbus one was 5. Okay. Colorado had 9. And then the other
Columbus had 4.
Oilers had 5.
They shouldn't have won that game.
Yeah, 5-4 they won overtime.
And then 8-3.
Yeah.
Hey, this U of M thing's working for you, eh?
Man, C's get degrees. So that's not what you're laughing at, though.
No. I'll tell you in the break. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. 833-401-1440. Again, it is Playlist Friday. Send us a request to that number, 833-401-1440. The Duke of Delburne will get it on. We had someone said, from DC, we'll let Eddie know about Burton Cummings a little bit more. The pride of Winnipeg. The pride of Winnipeg.
The pride. Alexander Gauthier, he was a big tackle in the CFL. He was in his 12th year when I got drafted, and he is a big French guy out of Quebec, Laval.
Yeah.
And he said, Eddie Steele, the pride of Manitoba. That's what he called me.
It's Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440. Presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local lotto spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Weekends were made for Oil Kings hockey at Rogers Place. Family fun that's second to none, starting at just $20 a seat.
This Family Fun Sunday, your Edmonton Oil Kings take on the Saskatoon Blades. Enjoy the kids' fun zone with face painting and bouncy castles.
And it's Crazy Hair Day. Sculpt your wackiest hairdo and you could win prizes like teddy bear toss tickets, a team-signed jersey, and more.
Plus, score Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Oil Kings Blades. Crazy Hair Day, 4 p.m. this Family Fun Sunday.
Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Hey everybody, it's Chief Prince of AM, Jason Stradler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
Big program, 821 in Edmonton. That's from the request line. The Real Duke texted in and said, "Good morning, Team Eddie 85. Can Eddie sing along with Snowbird from Anne Murray?" This is the song right now.
No. There's only one bird.
What? No. What?
Free bird.
You don't need Free Bird. You can't sing that one. You're thinking of Tom Petty? Free Fallin'?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Well, that was a request
Free
from
bird.
The Real Duke.
Anne Murray, huh?
Anne Murray.
Real Duke. Come on. Be better.
The King of Fort Nasty texted in a while ago. Good morning, KK, Fenny, and Eddie. And we were talking about the Madden little piece that was on Thursday Night Football. Karius, the best part that stuck out to me was when Madden told his boys before the Super Bowl game, paraphrasing, and it's pretty damn close here, King. This will be the single most largest and important moment of your life if you win.
True. If you win.
I think it was the important event of your life.
It's life-changing if you win.
Yeah.
It opens up a lot of doors.
Think
if you
about
win.
Eddie. Think about 2015, man.
I don't know if I'd be living here in Edmonton if we didn't win, right? And you
might have went and played somewhere else.
Yeah,
after
and
20.
just when I retired, I probably wouldn't have come back to Edmonton just because of the roots and the connections. It's opened up a lot of doors now. A lot of doors. It's pretty positive.
Yeah.
There was a lot on the John Madden theme. There was a lot of Madden, though. I like Madden, but the whole day was dedicated to the guy, man.
Wow. That's how much he was loved, man.
Yeah, he was beloved.
You know?
He was beloved. I wish they talked about his bus a little more and his fear of flying.
Yeah.
Because his tour bus apparently was just decked out,
well,
man.
back in the day, because it was the Outback tour bus. And, when he was traveling, he wanted to see the scenery. He wanted to look out the window, but it was decked out at that time.
Yeah.
The technology. and
Exactly.
everything. There were VCRs and stuff like this on that thing.
Yeah.
It
was his house essentially.
Yeah. But he wanted to go across America and meet people, stop for gas and start talking and
So
whatever.
cool.
Yeah. Unreal. Text 833-401-1440. Again, it is Playlist Friday. Send them in and the Duke will get them on. IMAX said, we're talking about the Oilers defense. IMAX says, Nurse in the first 2 years was my favorite D-man. He took a 2 almost every game because he played like Pronger. Then some idiot in the organization told him to chill. It was too risky to play that way.
You know,
it's a
fine line, KK.
I know there is.
Because he is valuable, and you don't want to have him in the box for half a game.
No, you don't. I agree there, but you can still play tough, hard. You can get to the point where you're not crossing the line for a penalty.
A little nasty.
And to be honest with you, take one every once in a while and rip someone's head off.
I say cross-check someone's back so hard you break your stick on them, man. Let them know that if you're going to be camped out in this area, you're going to pay the price.
Yeah, it's the other ones you can get away with, and D-Man will tell you, and Laddie would be first, and Schlemmer. It's you get those ones on the arms, Eddie. You know, like there's some spots there that are exposed, and you give them there. You know, that's
stings. Yeah, it's funny how every sport will have that. You have a vulnerable area.
DC says, let Eddie know that Burton Cummings is from the Guess Who. He said Burton was the biggest name from Winnipeg. Well, also, Chomsker says the biggest Winnipeg artist is Neil Young. Neil Young wasn't born in Winnipeg, I don't think. He came there as a young kid.
Cut his teeth there.
Yeah.
But Burton would be the Winnipeg legend.
He would be. Now, here's something for you to do with Young Jackson. Winnipeg's Neil Young is the son of Scott Young. And we had this as a question for In or Out last week. Scott Young wrote a trilogy, I think, it was called Scrubs on Skates. Now you buy these books for Young Jackson as a bedtime story. He will be going bananas. He will love these books and you will love them too. Scrubs on Skates, Boy on Defense, Boy at Leafs Camp, I think.
3 of them.
Yeah, I think so.
I heard you, man. Does it bring you back?
Oh, well, those were, I think they were like grade 7 or 8 reading level, something like that.
It's probably the last thing you read.
No, well, they were they were grade 7 or 8, like reading level.
Well, and then I thought you were about to tell me that you in your advanced academic state read them in like grade 2 or something.
Oh, of course. His mom was a teacher.
That's what I thought was coming next in that.
I could tell you the truth, but I know that guys like MTR would like to hear that I did them in grade 10.
Yeah, or grade 12 maybe.
Yes.
If you made it to grade 12.
Kevin's well educated.
That would have been Kevin's grade 12 English book report to graduate, but unfortunately he didn't read them well enough, and as a result, didn't graduate.
We were out here reading Of Mice and Men and Lord of the Flies. He was reading the hockey trilogy.
Scrubs on Skates.
I don't want to tell you what grade I read these in, Duke, because you're not going to believe it anyway.
Well, just tell me then.
It was grade 3.
Well, that's exactly what I expected.
I
Did I not say that? Did I not just say that?
I don't want. You said 2.
He was born at night, Kevin, but not last night.
No, Eddie, I believe Kevin. I do. It was a different time, perhaps.
Yeah.
He was reading them in the newspaper rather than on like an actual paperback book. But hey, I'll speak firsthand too. Like I said, books have these ages on them, right? Of when they're recommended, like young adult or junior high books, whatever. I read a ton when I was much younger, and I was reading like in grade. You did those tests, right? You'd go and sit down with the person. When I was like in grade 3, I could read at what they deemed was like a grade 12 level.
Yeah, I agree.
You're a savant.
Double D just texted in. Yes. Bill Spunska. That's the Boy on Defense. That's Scrubs on Skates. Jordan says, Eddie said the doors open for him, but we all know that he just plowed through them like the Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah.
What doors?
Well, it's a commercial where
I know the Kool-Aid man. Kevin, what doors did I say were open?
You said when you won the Grey Cup.
Oh, now I got.
Could you imagine Eddie?
Kevin's first assumption from that miscommunication is that Eddie doesn't know who the Kool-Aid man is.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You never know.
I'm here.
Dallas texts in a good cross-check that gives a guy kidney failure is a 2-minute penalty. That guy's going to think twice.
There we go with Big D. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, man. Gritty with it.
Yeah.
But it's true. Nurse used to have that spunk to him. And I mean, you saw it a couple of games back. What happened when he came to someone's defense and he got the enforcement penalty?
Yeah.
That was against Tampa. Yeah.
Big Soupy Campbell.
Just more of that, man. More of that. Of course, not the penalty, but more of the chippiness. More standing up for your teammates.
Well, and again, it's when you go to the front of the net, you should be there. Like I told this story a million times. I mean, Struddy told it to me from there in Fleury when they played in Chicago together. And Fleury's at the end of his career. Fleury's hanging on. He can barely even, to be honest with you, he can barely get to the games because he's in a bad place. But he told Struddy, there are bags and bags and bags and bags of money just lying around that crease. You got to go there and get them.
Honestly, KK, I think, I relate everything back to football. That's what I know. That's, hockey is different, but at the end of the day, it's primal, man. We're out here competing, mano a mano, person against person for women in their respective sport. But for me to ever be considered soft, that is the biggest, I feel guilty thinking about that. I never want to be considered soft. And when you're considered soft game in and game out because you're not showing that resolve, oh man, it makes my skin crawl because you can't be considered soft and play pro football. You shouldn't be considered soft and be in the NHL. But here we are talking about it game in, game out.
And that was, when players do interviews and the media catches it, when a player or a coach says that soft word, the alarm bells just.
Oh, it makes me. Oh, it's a fear. It makes me panic because that is very unsettling. You don't want to be a weak link in the chain, and being soft is absolutely a weak link in the chain.
Getting back to the scrubs on skates, I said I'd read in grade 3. Iron texts in and goes, "What year of grade 3?"
There we go. That's a good shirt. That's a good shirt. Man, I love coming in here and talking smack.
Yeah,
that's part of the best thing with this show, KK, is just talking smack to each other.
Why not? I mean, my one of my top lines is I never got kicked out of grade 4 because I was stupid. I was just too old.
Yeah, man. I love it. I love when people give it to me, man.
Well, why not? We're just Husk says, KK, years ago we were on tour in Winnipeg and our singer found out where Burton Cummings lived. He was sure he could knock on the door and say hello, but he tried, nothing happened. So went to Burton's house, I guess. I don't know. Burton Cummings, when he joined the Guess Who, was like 15 or 16 years old. The guys in the band had to promise his mother that they were going to take care of him. You think about in the 60s, what it was like. Hey, Mom, can your kid come sing with us?
Can he come tour?
That's like
just acid flying left and right.
Wow, it's like the Almost Famous movie with the writer going on with those kids, stuff like that. Jordan says Kevin got moved up once he started dating the teachers. Nice, I like that one. Did you ever have, when you were in high school, Eddie, did you ever have any say you're
no dime pieces?
Nothing?
No, man. No. Okay, there was some average teachers, but nothing. All my teachers were, you familiar with the movie Matilda? Trench ball. I had a lot of them.
Oh,
I had a lot of them.
We had, when we were in grade 12, Miss Stang came in. She was just out of school.
Stang
was the only class with no one missed. We were there. There was 100% attendance. 100%.
A little bit of landman action there.
I had something like that in university. There was a 300 level econ class I was taking that it was really boring, and you could read it all from the textbook. You didn't really get that much from going to class. But the teacher was Valentina Kozlova.
Oh,
it was worth
going. Say that name again.
Valentina Kozlova.
Oh, and so she was just a few years older than you?
No, she would have been because at the time I would have been 21 or 20, I guess. She would have been her late 30s, 40s.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Miss Stang was 21. And we were oh boy.
Taken aback.
Well, yeah, I mean, we would always have a few pops on a Friday night, and we'd kind of we knew where she lived, a small town, right?
Yeah.
Everyone would be walking around.
Kind of cruise by.
Seeing if the light was on, you know.
Just
what's
wishful
going on,
thinking.
yeah.
Wishful thinking. Like she'd invite you guys in or something.
Oh, I don't know about that. Coming up right after the break, we're going to go in or out, I guess, with Eddie Steele. In the 9 o'clock hour, Ryan Payton from Sirius XM, NHL Radio, and the Pucks and Seven podcast. We got Paul Sir from Hoop City at 10 o'clock. We'll maybe bring in Josh Fenwick to ask Paul some questions, maybe about the Toronto Raptors and what a run the Raptors are on. They don't play till tomorrow. Is that correct, Fenny? I think it's tomorrow. Is it Charlotte? I can't even remember now. I'd have to Charlotte. Yeah, so that it's weird again with the schedule around Thanksgiving Thursday in the States with the NBA, the NHL, and all that stuff taking the day off. And then Al Kaniski, Seattle Kraken analyst, and I just did a little searching on Al. Used to play in the old SJHL years ago with the Nipawin Hawks, long time ago. That's all coming up. Straight ahead on the Kevin Carey Show, but we got in or out with Eddie Steele. Right after the break, it's the Kevin Carey Show with Eddie Steele, Josh Fenwick, Duke of Delburne, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
You know your neighbor, right? The one who watches your house when you're away, who keeps their yard looking nice, who says hello every day. That's us. GS Construction. Now, we probably don't live right beside you, but we do live in your community. And when it comes to water and wastewater infrastructure, moving along smoothly, we're the ones doing that work. GS Construction has been doing it since 1974, over 50 years. So you could say we are your neighbors who wear hard hats and work boots. To find out what your neighbors do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Looking for the perfect used ride? Now's the time. For as little as $25 bi-weekly. Go Auto has over 7,500 used vehicles in stock with something for everyone. From budget-friendly cars and road trip-ready SUVs to powerful work-ready trucks. With around 70 locations across Canada, your next vehicle is closer than you think. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or buying for the first time, we've got the right ride at the right price. But don't wait. These deals won't stick around forever. Start shopping today at goauto.ca.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Tonight, 6 till midnight. Don't miss the 71st annual Kinsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person tonight at the Bailey Theater on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
Born from work, built for play. Carhartt's all-new Super Ducks tech jackets are built for hard-working people who can't sacrifice mobility for durability. This ultra-tough gear fights off wind, snow, and cold, while full-swing technology flexes with every move and still packs 3M insulation for maximum warmth. Try your new Carhartt Super Ducks at JobSite Workwear. 3 locations in Edmonton and online at jobsiteworkwear.ca.
JobSite Workwear, tough gear for tough jobs.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. 100% legal. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
Wow, that's from Eddie's request line.
I'm from the Bronx.
How come you didn't sing that one? You can't sing that one.
Oh, I can sing it.
Come on.
I was singing this in the shower this morning,
Why?
man.
Really?
Yeah, as I'm shaving my head. I'm still Eddie from the South.
I find that hard to believe, but who's is she with Affleck still? Or who is she with now?
No, she's on her own now.
They're
again.
divorced?
Yeah.
Were they married twice? Or
Yeah.
three?
Ooh, yeah, Duke.
Who else? She was with A-Rod.
A-Rod, yep, for a time. She's been engaged like 7 times.
McConaughey, was he in there or no?
No, Maddie. Stayed clear of that.
They were in a couple movies together, though, I think. Really?
He's a beast. I like Matthew.
Do you?
Do you?
I like him, except when he goes on the sidelines for Texas, and he thinks he's the coach or playing. He thinks he's still what's the state the movie? It's
We Are Marshall.
No. 2 for the show. 2 for the money. When he's a college
one.
2 for the money. Matthew McConaughey is a college quarterback in 2 for the money with Al Pacino, and he gets hurt, breaks his leg. Brandon something is his name. Brandon something. Anyway, he ends up working in a little box joint giving out tips for college football, NFL. Al Pacino owns this massive gambling company, something like what DraftKings or FanDuel would be right now. He recruits McConaughey to make his picks. And
I've heard the title, but I've never seen it. Never seen it.
It's yeah.
Cool.
It's a decent movie. It's worth watching if you
Yeah,
like
I like Matthew, so I check it out.
Football and gambling.
You're right though. He is on those sidelines, loud and proud. But he's the most famous Texas alum. What?
Nothing.
No, come on. What do you mean?
Time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out? In or out of what? No time for questions, just action. In or out? Well, then I'm out. I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke Letterbuck.
The Edmonton Oilers back at it tomorrow afternoon in Seattle. A quick road pit stop before a string of home games for the team that has spent the vast majority of the season on the road so far. This game, before they return home, serving as final notice for several veterans on the team before lineup decisions start to serve as consequences.
You know what? I'll say I'm going to be in for sure on this, Duke, and I'll say it started yesterday. And this is why I'm going to say it started yesterday. Everyone looks, when you get into the room and you see the lines on the board and you see what technically the depth chart is, right? Because it's always you're going to have McDavid with, whoever he's with. And then you see Clattenburg move up to the third line. To me, that was fair warning to everyone right there. Clattenburg moves up to the third line. So guys like Frederic, guys like Lazar, guys like that, Henrique and
Japani.
They're looking at that line and they're going, whoa. I'm on the fourth line now. Clattenburg's on the third line with Nuge.
What it has to be
with Nuge. So this started yesterday and it should have started before.
That's what it has to be, man.
That's
that
right.
urgency.
Yeah.
Like I ranted about it many times this morning. That urgency, that threat to your job has to be there. And that's honestly not there, and due in part because of all these no movement clauses that they hand out. And the other part is when you sign an NHL contract, it's fully guaranteed. Whereas football, it's a different beast. There is a threat week in and week out.
Especially in the NFL with a 3-year thing, right? Because after your 3-year contract in the NFL, like I always think the one that always comes to mind for me is Singor Mobley with the Eskimos back in the day. Played in the NFL with Dallas. He was that tweener. He was a guy that could play. He was a special teams demon, but he was too small for a linebacker, too big for a DB. He could be that tweener here.
Exactly.
But after 3 years, it was like Singor. There are about 1,000 guys right now that are going to take your place, and we do not have to bump your contract up after that 3 years.
And that's twofold. Part of it is the contract increase, and then the bigger part of it, Kevin, is your pension. And after 3 years, you're guaranteed your pension.
Yeah.
And that's why the cut point is so hard, because teams don't want to be on the hook for the long-term payment of your pension. So on to the next.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm saying for the Oilers specifically here that this game kind of serves as that, and in that it hasn't already yet, because I'm with you, Kev. I think that moment in practice when you see a guy like Clattenburg up another level on the team's depth chart is that, well, they've been hit by another couple injuries here, right? So it's not like they don't really have the opportunity to sit a couple veterans out in this game for healthy scratches, with Roslovic still kind of teetering on the fence about his availability, and then obviously Kapanen re-aggravating or a new injury potentially as well.
But Cap started practice. That's what I'm saying, Duke. Like Cap goes in, and the people look at the lines, right? They see Kapanen with Draisaitl and Podkolzin, which has been a good line for a long time, correct? But then they see Clattenburg with RNH and Mangiapane, who was lucky to be on that third line.
Well, yeah, because if you look at the names that you'd be thinking, all right, who's due to take a seat, possibly, I think Andrew Mangiapane's name is very much in the mix there, along with possibly Trent Fredericks. Like Thomas Scheck, not necessarily by fault of his own, but just because of where he's at on the depth chart. Like, he's not getting very many minutes to try and make something happen with, and we know maybe he's not a bottom six player, whatever, right? But like this game, this is kind of it for a couple of these guys to one last chance to go out there and be effective, prove you can do something on this team. And if not, over the stretch of this next homestand, you're back at home playing in front of the home crowd. Well, tough, buddy. You might be watching from the press box. Over to the NFL yesterday, trio of games kicking off week 13 with Thanksgiving. Both Dallas and Cincinnati winning their games. All three underdogs won yesterday, despite my pleas with Kevin that it would be a favorites feast over the course of the day. Bengals and Cowboys keep their very slim playoff hopes alive with their victories. But when I am looking at the rest of the season here, I actually think it is Cincinnati of those two that is more likely to grab a postseason berth.
I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm going Dallas, especially with this game here coming up. You have Dallas and Detroit. And if Dallas can make something shake with that, they're just going to put themselves in that much more favorable position in the NFC.
I'm with you too, Eddie. I'm out on this one. And this is providing that the Eagles beat the Bears today. Because what was once when we said that 3 teams out of the NFC North could make the playoffs, now there could be just one.
Right.
With the Lions where they are, if the Bears drop to 8-4 and all of a sudden have, as we know, a stiffer schedule down the stretch here, it could be, and Dallas gets hot. And we're assuming Dallas beats Detroit. That's going to pretty well knock the Lions out, because the Lions and Cowboys are going to be basically in the same boat.
Yep.
So I'm on the same page as Eddie here with Dallas. To be honest with you, the way that Lamar's going right now, and with Burrow back, he's 3-0 as a starter. They're 1-8 without him. And Pittsburgh, since he's got Pittsburgh 2 more times?
Yeah. So Cincinnati's remaining schedule is at Buffalo, play the Ravens again, but at home this time, at Dolphins, v Cardinals, v Browns. Not exactly a murderer's row of opponents. So you just beat the Bengals, and you beat them quite easily. Now you get to try and do it again on home field. Now, listen, I think they have to essentially win out. Like, we're talking to get to a 9-8 record. But the reason I'm higher on the Bengals here is that, for one reason only, the rest of the division is playing like crap. And so at 9-8, they could win the division, which will get them a playoff spot. I can't see the Cowboys overtaking the Eagles for that playoff berth. I mean, the head-to-head part of it for them is going to possibly matter. They've already got the one win over Philly. But, like, Cowboys play Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, Giants. Say what you want about some of those teams, like the Vikings and the Giants. They're still kind of frisky, right? Especially if it's Jameis Winston or Jackson Dart for New York at the end of the year there. Lots of guys playing for jobs probably for next year. So I just think that the Bengals have a little bit of an easier path, and also just the situation of the AFC being a little more open than the NFC right now. Rest of the slate continuing with Black Friday today, Eagles and Bears going at it from Philadelphia. And then, of course, Sunday and Monday. But my dog of the week on a Friday, it's a must-win game. It's my Houston Texans plus 3.5 in Indianapolis against the Colts.
Dog of the week, Kevin.
Plus 3.5. What's up with Indiana Jones? Fibula? Tibia? What is it? No.
Something fibula.
Cracked?
I think it's just
Fib.
hurt.
Spinal.
I broke my back.
Eddie, go ahead. If you
okay. By default, I will probably be in with this, but a close second. Shout out MTR. Niners, I'm seeing favored by 4.5. I think Cleveland can do some damage in that spot as a dog.
I like it.
Weather's supposed to be real ugly
I
in
think
Cleveland.
it could be some damage there. Cleveland's defense is nasty. They're
Purdy
nasty.
gets sacked.
Yes, I like it. And dare I say it? Shedeur Sanders 1-0.
Eddie's favorite guy.
Hand the ball off.
Wildcat.
I like that pick, Eddie. I really do.
In Cleveland.
Yeah. And I have to. I mean, I need a win by Cleveland here. So I'm going to jump on board with Eddie. I'm jumping on board with Eddie. Yes.
Oh, come on, Kevin. Give me a dog.
I had a pretty tough time because I think a lot of the favorites this week I like a lot. There's some big spreads like Eddie's Vikings are 12.5-point dogs in Seattle.
Dang.
That's tough. I mean, it makes sense, though, when you've watched J.J. McCarthy play quarterback so far. Panthers 10.5-point dogs at home against the number 1 seeded Rams. And after that, it's kind of like there's some closer lines on some pretty decent teams. Like Tampa Bay, 3 points over Arizona. I get the Bucks have struggled, but Cardinals.
You always I look for trap games too. And I look for games where the team didn't play well last week. They're Jekyll and Hyde. And a trap game by a team that Duke, as you have said, is the number 1 ranked team in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl, and that's the Rams. Maybe 10.5 is too many points.
It's a lot of points.
Okay.
But it's fun. I mean, this is, take your pick. You can say this any week, any given game. It's like, 10.5, that's too many points for a team at home to be underdogs. Is like, yeah, but the Rams are pretty clearly the best team in the NFL right now, and they could win this game they could win this game by 4 scores. Like, I wouldn't be shocked to see
I'm going to nominate this game.
I'm probably going to have this game on my card. I'm going to have this game on my card for the Rams to cover. They're that good. I think they're clear cut the best team. Elsewhere, it's rivalry week in the college football landscape. Ohio State and Michigan, of course, grabbing all the headlines. OSU, top team in the country. Can Ryan Day finally slay the Michigan Dragon? I know there's a lot of people that are on Michigan here to cause some trouble for the Buckeyes, but I actually think that tonight's Texas versus Texas A&M game is the game of the weekend in college football.
I know it's in or out. I just like to know why.
So I think that Texas is a better team than Michigan. And as a result, there's more at stake here between the two sides. Like for Texas, if they have any prayer, like it's a chance for an undefeated season going into the SEC title game for A&M. And for Texas, like there's currently 16 seed. If they have any hope, like if they can beat Texas, if they can beat A&M, do they have a sniff at sneaking into the college football playoff?
That's good reasoning, Duke. Thank you for laying that out there. That's why you are the pros pro. I'm going to be out.
Oh, good.
What sense does that make?
I'm going to be out. No, it's Ohio State, Michigan, man. That is such a rivalry, and it's been dominated as of late by Michigan. And look, in those states, they talk about it. It doesn't matter about national championships. Just beat your rival. Beat Michigan. Beat Ohio State. That's what some fans care about. Yeah. So it's huge. So I'm gonna chalk that up. I do like the lay down though, Duke, with the Texas A&M Texas. I appreciate the breakdown.
Remember we were talking about the weather for this one, Duke, earlier in the week. Temperatures 28 degrees, cloudy. Snow showers expected to fall during the game. Snow showers
could get ugly out there. Big Ten football.
Big Ten. You know what? I'm going to be in with you, Duke, because here's what I did. I punched up the USA Today college football experts, they got 6 guys and they make their picks. The game that you mentioned is the only one where basically each and every expert has not picked, like all 6 of them pick Ohio State. All 6 pick Indy. All 6 pick Georgia. All 6 pick Alabama. Ole Miss, go down the list. It's the only one where it's half and half. There's 3 and 3 guys. So three expert thinks
Split.
Texas. The other 3 are going A&M here. So that's why it'll probably be the best game, as Duke says, to watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. And it's kind of what makes it fun with this being rivalry weekend, is that even if it seems a little lopsided, right? Like, these games matter a lot to the schools, to the teams, to the players. And I hate to say it, but I think a little less so now because of how much guys jump around in the transfer portal, as opposed to when it was like half your roster has been there for 3-4 years already.
Yeah.
And that rivalry is a little more embroiled into. But with that being said, it still does matter. And I think with tonight's slate, some good ones: Ole Miss, Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl. Supposed to be getting some word about Lane Kiffin's decision, if he's going to remain at Ole Miss or take one of these open big school jobs. I mentioned Texas A&M, Arizona State. Yeah, some really good ones all weekend long to indulge in. Lastly, first big snowfall of the winter coming last night into this morning. I sat on the couch all day yesterday watching football. It was not, no joke, it was not until the end of the night game that I stood up and was like, oh, wow, look at all that snow out there. At no point did it click for me that it was snowing at any stages.
You know, Duke, you remind me of that guy. You know, it's in all the top 10 highlights of the fans watching games. You're that guy eating the popcorn in the bleachers, you know. So this couch, you're on the couch, you know,
in the rain.
Yeah, I thought
Yes,
he was eating the
guy-
popcorn, like totally.
It's
nothing
all
else in
over
the
him.
world was going
I'm
on.
completely oblivious to what else is going on in the world. Like, I got my phone beside me and I'm basically only looking at it to check with, like, if messages I've sent to guests for the show and stuff like that. The cats are running around. They're out of sight, out of mind. I don't care what they're doing. And I make some food, make some lunch, make some supper. That's it. And then I'm fat and happy. Nothing can bother me on a day like yesterday.
So you got up after?
It was the end of the night. Like, it was dark out. It was nighttime. And I looked, I was like, whoa, look at all that snow. I had to make sure, I had to double check, make sure my scheduled start on my truck was ready to go for this morning. And then I had to brush it off, which took a few minutes. But like Eddie, I was prepared. Anyway, this day, call it the first big snowfall. It is the worst driving day in the calendar year.
Oh, that's a good one. Driving days in the calendar.
Well, you're the
year.
driver. You're 6K a month, Eddie.
Yes.
I'm like
6K a
I'm
month.
600K
Yeah,
a
if
month.
that, you're 60-ish.
Yeah.
Your trek is very short. Yeah, Duke, the first snowfall is always really challenging. It is. But coming off summer break, that first week of school, back to school, when everybody's back out on the roads too, because over the summer months, it gets really nice out there. That morning commute is easy, but it becomes real chaotic that first week of school. And
the kids are
everybody's
bananas.
buzzing. And then the residential streets are kind of jacked up with traffic. And so it's either a toss-up between that first week of school starting or the first snowfall. I would probably say, though, first snowfall, because people are just idiots.
Yeah.
Like, they're tailing each other. There's no space, no separation. People are still cutting in and out of lanes. The Hen Day's a circus with these bozos.
Yeah.
So snowfall, man.
Yeah, I'm into, and I was thinking about that day too, because the kids are buzzing and they want to see their friends, and it's first day back, but at least you can stop.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, bare roads.
You never know, and you know, sometimes the more traffic you get now, you get a little pack, and now it can be a little more slippier than where it was in the first part of the morning. And it, you know, you see the big trucks. I'm not talking semis. I'm talking the big half.
Oh,
tons.
yeah.
And those guys, I
All
mean,
lifted up.
they are screaming.
Yes,
along,
they
and
are.
They, you know,
So annoying. So annoying. And here's the one, just PSA for everybody. Don't slam your brakes. Pump the brakes, ride the brakes gently. Don't slam the brakes out of panic when it's cold like this and slippery. Just pump them and tap them gently. You slam them, you're hooped.
look at Eddie's driving school tips here.
People just, they panic and then they slam them and they're toast.
But wasn't that like the recommendation back when it was like not every car or vehicle had ABS brakes? And I'm with you, Eddie. I am. Because, like, no matter, even if you have ABS brakes, like, you start sliding, then you're out of control. It's, just driving defensively and cautiously goes a long way to making it not necessary to try and stop in an instant. But, like, and we talk about it with our good reads from Fountain Tire, from Northgate Chev. Like, at this stage, there's certainly so many people that are like, oh, I don't need my winter tires yet. It's we got a good run of weather here still. And they don't act until after, right? They're not proactive about it. Yeah. They're reactive to the weather with their tire changeover. So they're not prepared that way. They still run their summer slicks out there. It's like it's amnesia every year that people just forget how to drive when the weather takes a turn to the south. And as the winter progresses, there's going to be some really bad days where it's whiteout conditions and a foot of snow as opposed to a few inches like we got. But this day, it just seems like it stands out every year. It's like, oh yeah, it's starting fresh, as if everybody just got their license again for the first time here, mid-November, late November.
Look at Duke trying to keep Eddie here past 9.
Guys.
Got him.
Not Fred texts in. First snowfall is also challenging when your wife puts off getting the winter tires on. Yes, correct. Go to Northgate. Go to Fountain. Get them on.
Fred just sewered his wife.
Yeah. Well, boys. Triple C in a truck says Eddie's YouTube driving school is about to open.
Oh, yeah. It's called Steady Eddie's Driving School.
Eddie's Driving School, 250-pound guy in a smart car. Shows up as a driving instructor.
Hey, my family had a smart car. I used to rip on that. I would take it on sidewalks. Back in Winnipeg, I would take it up sidewalks.
So what's on the go today and tonight?
I got to get down and shoot Elks Nation right now because we have a special guest. We have Chris Morris joining us on the pod. So we got an hour of him all to ourselves. Me and Deck, we're going to break it down and get really in depth.
Give us a snippet or harbinger of what kind of questions you're going to ask him.
A lot of business ops stuff, but then personal about does he miss the game? What's it like being the president, not having the control of the roster? Salaries. We talk about CFL salaries a ton. Does he think they should be out for public knowledge? Because then you can have some more informed debates in terms of, roster and moves. For example, Robbie Smith, highest paid non-defensive player last year, making $280K. He signed back. What kind of pay cut did he take? Because that will dictate if it's worth a good signing. If he took a huge pay cut, then Ed Hervey's a genius for stealing him. If he's getting paid handsomely off not producing, then you can question the GM and what kind of move that is. So it just allows us to be more informed when making critical thinking points.
Outstanding. And when are these going to drop, as the kids call
it'll be dropping over the weekend for sure.
Boy. You and Declan.
All right, my man.
Okay, take care. Have a great weekend, Eddie.
Take care, boys.
Are you popping by tomorrow? Just a quick pop in again?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm like Santa. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
That's Eddie Steele, our co-host on Mondays and Fridays. In the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to talk a little hockey with Ryan Payton from Sirius XM, NHL Radio, and the Pucks and 7 podcast. We'll talk basketball at 10 o'clock with Paul Sir from Hoop City, and then we'll preview tomorrow's Seattle Oilers game. It's a 2 o'clock puck drop, our time, with Al Kiniski, Seattle Kraken analyst. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your next dinner is ready with Loca Quality Market's gourmet meals. Choose from over 200 chef-prepared meals. Shop local at loca.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Week 13 in the NFL kicking off yesterday with a trio of Thanksgiving matchups. NFC North, Green Bay defeated Detroit 31-24 from Ford Field. And then down in Dallas, the Cowboys upset the Chiefs 31-28. Dak Prescott, 320 yards through the air in a pair of touchdowns in that one. And the nightcap, Baltimore Ravens cannot extend their lead atop the AFC North. They lose to the Bengals 32-14, and Joe Burrow's returned to the lineup. College football action. Navy continues their strong season with a win over Memphis 28-17. And from the Canadian Olympic curling trials in Halifax, semifinal action. Christina Black, the Nova Scotia rink, defeating Carrie Anderson 6-3 to advance through to play Rachel Holman in this weekend's best of 3. And on the men's side, Matt Dunstone over Mike McEwen 9-5. He'll move through and take on Brad Jacobs, also best of 3 over the weekend. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Ryan Payton from SiriusXM NHL Radio. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Tired of the same old holiday tunes? Spice things up with the sound of a Will Hawk beef jerky bag being torn open. It's the carol that everyone wants to hear, promising a chorus of tender, perfectly spiced beef jerky. This holiday season, make sure you're Will Hawking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Did you know the Brick is proudly Canadian-owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality-made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a Brick store near you.
The basketball show turns 10, and we welcome a new generation of basketball talk. Hoop City with Paul Sir airs Saturday mornings from 10 till noon on Sports 1440. From grassroots to NBA to the Olympics, we've got you covered.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and people who suffer brain fog might think it's just going to be part of their life. But listen, I've seen a 38-year-old man managing a concussion read her kid a bedtime story without losing the plot, all because of cognitive rehab that rewires the brain like a GPS reboot. Your brain isn't broken, it's buffering. One missed beat in focus, memory, or balance snowballs into frustration, falls, or forgotten keys. Stroke, concussion, long COVID, even aging can all lead to brain fog. Cognitive rehab works. Check us out at leadingedgephysio.com before your next Where'd I Put My Phone moment.
At Sherwood Honda, SUV must stand for Sell Us Vehicles. Because if you have an SUV, Sherwood Honda sure would love to buy it. Any make, any model. If you're driving an SUV that's in good shape and yours to sell, you should turn around and head to Sherwood Honda for a really good price. And if you're not driving an SUV, that's okay. Sherwood Honda sure would still be happy to sell you a vehicle too.
This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, a proud presentation of Sports Select.
In store or online at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:08 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you. Josh Fenwick as well. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram as well. And Montreal Canadiens just announcing that they have agreed to terms on a 5-year contract extension with Mike Matheson. This has just come down in the last few minutes. It is a $6 million AAV for Matheson. Now, this was a guy that some thought, well, last year for sure, last year for sure was, on the trade block, but the Canadians think that they have something there. They like the way their defense is going, and they come in with the $6 million AAV for 5 years. Duke, what do you make of this deal? It's not bad.
Yeah, this is a name that I think a lot of other teams around the league have kind of coveted the past few years as he approached this free agency spot. But if you're the Habs, right, and you and I talked about this, Kevin, going back to last year, and I think even the year before, when his name was maybe circled as an Oilers target, saying like, why would the Habs want to move on from this guy, right? When you look at what he provides, like a different element than like Lane Hudson, right, who's emerged as your offensive guy back there. Matheson skates really well. He defends. He's got some size to him. He complements a guy like Caden Gooley when he's healthy really well, as a little more defensive presence back there. It makes total sense for both sides that the Habs are entering this window of contention. Yeah, you want to get as many quality defensemen under contract and locked up as possible, and this is a pretty good move by the group over there, Jeff Gorton and company, to make this happen.
Well, you mentioned Gooley. He needs to be healthy.
Yeah.
They need to get him healthy. Last year, he had that laceration near his thigh. This year, again, he's on IR. When you look at their blue line and what they've locked up here long term, they have to be extremely happy with Lane Hudson. His contract's going to kick in. So when you think about it next year, Duke, Lane Hudson's going to be at 8.8. Dobson's at 9.5. Gooley's at 5.5. Matheson's at 6. So they've said these are going to be our core group of guys moving forward for quite a long time. And when Matheson and Gooley were paired up together here when they played against the Oilers, they defended and limited the top two guys when they were playing against Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid.
Oh yeah, when you get guys that have the physical abilities that like guys like Cooley and Matheson do, because they're not small players, right? That they got some stockiness to them, as well as be like Matheson's quite lanky or tall, too. Yeah. But they skate so well, and like in today's NHL, look at who you're trying to defend on a night-to-night basis. It is Connor McDavid. It's Nathan McKinnon. It is who are some examples out east. Guys like the Rangers, when their guys are going, the Senators moving up, you need to be able to move well. And that's where the Habs are kind of clearly prioritizing their back end. Dobson, Gooley, Matheson, and of course, Lane Hudson, who's one of the very best in that aspect.
Yeah. I saw Marty St. Louis' interview the other day, and how he worded the terminology of the word usage, it's so bang on as a coach. It couldn't have been like more exactly what coaches think, because they were talking about Arbor Jekkai, and somewhere, somehow in Montreal, Arbor Jekkai's minutes and his usage has come into play here. And maybe the minutes aren't as high as what he would like, the player would like. But Marty St. Louis' comment was, oh, here. Coaches are different than players. Players look at quantity minutes. The first thing they do on the game sheet, they look at and they go, oh, I played 23 minutes last night. Oh boy, wow. Coaches look at quality minutes. So it's quality over quantity. And sometimes, again, what does that tell you about how the Oilers minutes are distributed? If you get 8 or 9 or 10 minutes, we'll make use of those minutes. Make them quality. So move forward in that sense. Text line 833-401-1440. Text line 833-401-1440. Hey, Duke, how are we doing with the request line and the songs?
I think there's probably 1 or 2 spots left. We got a couple. And then even our own Marty Stevens sent one in that he wanted to hear.
Marty did? Where was that? I didn't see it.
He texted me personally.
Oh, did he?
He knows it'll cut to the noise that way.
Yeah. Well, tell Marty to get in the queue. It doesn't work that way.
Eh? No, there's a couple spots. There's a couple spots available.
Marty, he'd be the guy so he goes into Emerge and says, hey, Marty Stevens here. I need to get my throat checked. I'll just move up. I'll just talk to the doctor directly. Can I just text him? Come on, Marty. 833-401-1440. Mel, good point here. People need to brush the snow off their cars as well. Boy, isn't that something that you no matter, most people, I'd say half are parked in garages and whatever. Then you go out and you see the people that can't even see out of their back, their sides. There's 3 inches on the top of their car or whatever. It's blowing all over the place. Ugh. Jay in Victoria, I would take the Vikings to cover that Seahawks game. What do you think about that one, Duke?
Well, the text brings up a good point. That, like, look at the Seahawks last week against the Titans. They were big favorites. Were covering essentially the whole game, but then in the fourth quarter, they kind of were just like, yeah, whatever. And Titans scored a garbage time touchdown, and as a result, covered the points. So maybe the Seahawks don't have a killer instinct when they got a team down to really step on the throat, push them into the dirt. I don't know. This is an interesting one because you think about it, Kevin. It's kind of like a double revenge game, right?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold going back up against Minnesota, but it was kind of a weird departure from there, where from reports the Vikings wanted to bring him back, but only at a certain dollar figure. They didn't want to pay him starter money, and Darnold was like, "Well, I'd like to come back too, but I want to be paid like a starting quarterback because I just won 14 games for you this year." So they kind of both sides like, well, it's not going to work out, I guess, then, because we're committed to JJ McCarthy and we can't have this money on the books for a guy we don't think is going to be our starter. And now here they are, Vikings mired in a very disappointing season under their second-year quarterback, first-year starter.
Yeah.
And Darnold continues to prove a lot of people wrong with the way he's played this year in Seattle. The Seahawks are a really good team.
Our buddy David Whitetail, Dave Nelson, wants to hear Shenandoah, Duke, after that request yesterday, talking about the top 5 bands and the underrated songs, this and that.
Love Shenandoah. I'll get that on.
I'll get it on for Dave. I hope I can say this. I talked to Dave a little while ago. I can't see it being a problem. Dave's going to be moving from Whitetail Landing over to Goose Hummock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah. So congrats on that, Dave. I hope I'm not overstepping boundaries or whatever. But I'm glad that you're kind of closer. Well, it's a little still outside of town, but you know what, Whitetail, we never got out this year, and we should have, but maybe we'll head out to Goose Hummock next year for sure. When we come back, Ryan Payton from Sirius XM, NHL Radio, Pucks and 7. He'll guest with us right after the break. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, presented by Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. We got tons of hockey today with 15 games. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. We're back after the break. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both!
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.ca.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Picture this. You're sleeping and you're awake, but it's a good day.
because you're about to make your way to McDonald's to pick up some breakfast. Fast forward, you're there. What's this? You can now get all those breakfast classics penny style with rich, creamy hollandaise-style sauce. A happy little tear rolls down your cheek. You grab your small McCafe premium roast coffee, still just $1 plus tax every day. And see. Get up and at 'em with the Egg McMuffin. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
The Junior Prospects Hockey League's fourth season is now underway. The JPHL offers elite athletic and academic opportunities for players in the 14U, 15U, 17U, and 18U divisions. All games are broadcast live on Silent Ice TV, featuring a showcase-style schedule and competitive matchups across Western Canada. Players work with experienced coaches, trainers, and elite hockey personnel. Learn more about Western Canada's fastest-growing elite hockey development stream at juniorprospectshockeyleague.com.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Heavy Truck Auction is next Thursday at 9 a.m. with Tridom, tandem, and single-axle trucks, including tractors, decks, dumps, plows, vacs, man lifts, pickers, refuse trucks, and more. Info at maauctions.com.
Watch out. They're back.
I don't know why you're treating like the worst moving company in the region.
Get ready for a new season of the homegrown Crave original, The Office Movers.
All right, should we roll?
The hilarious hit series from creators Jay and Trey Richards.
We're building, we're elevating, we're moving up. New space, new contract.
You guys need to go. The client is freaking out.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
The Office Movers. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Proudly Canadian. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Equipment Auction is next Friday at 9 a.m. featuring graders, excavators, forklifts, loaders, man lifts, skid steers, plus commercial trailers including 3 unused 2023 Timmins 55-ton triaxle lowboys. Info at maauctions.com.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 921 in Edmonton. That is from our request line at 833-401-1440 on playlist Friday, the Stampeders. My brother was in the Stampeders fan club, Duke, if you can believe that. Used to get fan mail, if you can believe it. Time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Getting snakes deep, giving 110% day in and day out. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca as we welcome in Ryan Payton from Sirius XM, NHL Radio, and the Pucks and 7 podcast. Morning, Ryan. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 once again. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, always good to see you, and hope you've been well, Kevin. Lots to dissect, I assume.
Unbelievable. After no games yesterday with American Thanksgiving, we had a whack today. And then just the news like 10, 15 minutes ago, Ryan, with Mike Matheson. Re-signing in Montreal, 5 years at $6 million per season on an AAV. What are your thoughts on that deal for the Canadians?
Yeah, I think it's anything the Canadians do these days, I think is great because they're one of the clubs that I've been pulling for, Original Six, and they've been trending in the right direction. And they're, to me, one of the, look, they haven't been playing as well lately, got off to a great start. That's kind of been a lot of different parts to different teams around the league. But I love the direction they're going in. They're young, they're fast, and I think this is what they have to do. If you can ink a defenseman like this on a 5-year deal at 30, I think it's a good move for the Canadians. You need that. There's no questioning this talent up front with Suzuki and Caulfield and everybody else involved on that team. Lane Hudson too on the back end. So what they're doing in Montreal, they're building not just for this season but for the seasons to come. And I look back to what they did last year. It was a magical run. Yeah, they lost to Washington. That's fine. But what they took from that experience in making it to the postseason, they've now taken that into this year. Long way to go. A lot of track left to go, obviously. But I love the deal. I love the deal for both sides. And if I was Matheson, why wouldn't I like to commit long-term? Mm-hmm. I know it's 5 years, not 7, 8. But why wouldn't I like to commit long-term to this team and to this city? It's one of the best cities to play hockey in, probably the best building to play hockey in. And now you've got a team that is on the up and up. So I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing when it comes to building. And I think this is a great move for both sides.
Yeah. Patrick Lyon, he comes off the books next year. Basically, that money went to Lane Hudson for his contract that kicks in. So just on the blue line as a whole, what do you make of this core group of 4 guys that the Canadians have, Ryan?
Yeah, I think it's good. You always go down to, and it comes down to goaltending. I understand that, but when you can have a blue line that's relatively solid, I think that is a big benefit when it comes to playing well and being successful in the league. Because I mean, I would put so many guys on this team for Montreal out against anybody when it comes to their forwards. They're some of the top in the game today, but it's what you do on the back end. And let's not forget too, when you have Lane Hudson on this team, and when you have Hudson now committed long term at the age that he is at, and just how good that he is, you can build around somebody like that, which is what they're doing. So to me, they have ways to go. I get it. There's always going to be holes. That's fine. Are they the best defensive core in the game? No. But I think they're trending like the whole team is in that right direction.
Ryan Payton with us from Sirius XM NHL Radio and the Pucks and 7 podcast on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. As mentioned, a whack of games, as you know, today, Ryan, with 15. Yeah. And Brady Tkachuk returns for the Ottawa Senators. What if you were to tell the Sens that they would be, 11-5-4 without Tkachuk in the lineup? Man, they would have taken that all day, huh?
I absolutely think so. That they've weathered the storm. You don't have your captain, you don't have your leader. They have some other great players on that team. Timmy Stützle is one, but for them to be where they're at now, 2 things with that. Number one is give Ottawa a lot of credit. Second thing is teams like Toronto, teams like Florida, teams that we usually see in the top 3 seeds in that Atlantic. They're not in the top 3 seeds, and they're nowhere near right now in the top 3 seeds. Again, that's not taking anything away from what Ottawa's done, but any team that can handle their captain not being out, the core of their team, and put up points and play competitively the way that they've been playing, I love it. If you and I talked again, if we talked in training camp or talked before game 1, and if you said to me, you think Ottawa's going to be in a decent spot by the end of November without Tkachuk, I would say probably not, for a number of reasons. But Ottawa's got to be real happy, number one, with where they're at, but also, two, they get their big boy back tonight.
Yeah. How do you think they were able, Ryan, to win all these close games? Because they've won a lot of close games to stay in the mix here.
I just think it's the depth and also just the focus in on how they play and the style that they play. I always say this about hockey teams in the league. There's some great ones. Colorado is the best right now. Dallas a close second. Carolina up there as well, but Colorado is just ridiculous. And they can win sometimes. Just ask Edmonton. They can win 9-1. They can win 8-2. They can win 8-3. To me, it's the teams that win the close games. That, to me, is a sign that this is a good group. Ottawa's not going to blow you out every night with a ton of goals. That's not how they play. But you play within the system, and that's what they've done. It's quite easy as well to go away from that system if your captain's not on the team. You try to do too much. You know the old adage, Kevin, you grip the stick tighter. You get more tense on the ice. But that's not what they've done. They've stuck to the game plan. And I always say this about teams in hockey. You can't win a playoff spot in October. Can't probably win one midway through November, but you can certainly lose a spot, and Ottawa's not done that. So I'm happy with what they've done, and I think just the depth and staying within the system that the coaching staff has implemented, that's helped them in where they're at right now.
Ryan Payton with us on Sports 1440. You mentioned Colorado. They are head and shoulders above everyone in the league.
Not fair, Kevin. It's not fair.
It really isn't. The game of the day has to be Colorado and Minnesota, and the Wild have ripped off 6 in a row. What do you make of this tilt, and what kind of a message would it be for the Wild to knock off Colorado today?
Yeah, it would be big. The Avalanche have only lost once in regulation time, only once. And what have they? They're on a 14-game point streak. They've won 10 in a row, coming off a win 6-0 over San Jose back on Wednesday. Minnesota, to me, this was one team I was looking at going into the season, wondering, okay, can they get back to where they were? And is this team going to be good enough by the time the 82nd game is played to get into a postseason spot? All the other clubs in the West, a lot of them I was putting ahead of them. And that's, again, with all due respect to Minnesota. But you got to love what Jesper Wallstedt's doing in goal for them, which is unheard of. And I also love what Kaprizov is doing. He signed that massive deal. A lot of pressure on him. And he's been playing well too. So if you can upend the best team in the league on a national holiday in the United States, I think this would go a long way in helping build that confidence with Minnesota, because the West is tough. The Avalanche, they're going nowhere. Dallas isn't going anywhere either anytime soon. So this would be a big one. It would be a real character statement win if Minnesota could knock the Avalanche off today.
Do you have Dallas at number 2 in your power rankings, Ryan?
Yeah, I do. And, I looked at the East again. There's some teams that are playing well. Carolina's playing well. The Devils are playing well. But if it wasn't for Colorado, I think all of us would be talking about Dallas. I really do. But because the Avalanche are where they're at right now in the record and in the season, Dallas is that second. But Dallas has it as well. I think this season with the Dallas Stars, again, they have a lot of returning guys. Jake Ottinger, I think, is on a mission. I really do. And I don't know if this is going back to when he was pulled last year. We all know what happened with Pete DeBoer, and he was pulled in the game. And did that light a fire under him? I don't know. Obviously, he was ticked off. I would be too. I thought he handled it incredibly in that situation after the game and also for the rest of the offseason. But I just think that he is so key to that club, and I think he's playing well. I always say this about good goalies also. There's a lot of good ones in the league, but you need a good team in front of you. And Dallas, again, plays within the system, and they're just finding ways to show again that they're one of the top teams in the West. So, yeah, I have Colorado 1, I have Dallas number 2, both in the West.
Mm-hmm. Ryan Payton with us on Sports 1440. We got a lot of problems here, as you know, in Edmonton, Ryan. What's your take on it from 30,000 feet away, being out in Eastern Canada?
Yeah, it's hard to watch, and what's the hardest for me to watch is seeing the strain that this is taking on all the team, but the strain it's taking on Connor McDavid. And I was looking at the losses that they have this month. I mentioned the 9-1 loss to Colorado. Again, you give up 9. Colorado was good, but I didn't think they were an 8-goal spread between Edmonton and Colorado. Then you give up 7 to Washington. You give up 8 to Dallas. I know I just said Dallas and Colorado 1-2 in my rankings, but when you lose this month, you're giving up a lot, and body language is not as good. The reaction after these losses is tough. They're calling themselves out. We can't do this. McDavid saying, I have no answers. Goaltending is the biggest issue, Kevin. It's been this way for a long time. And I will say this again, that the fit between Pickard and Skinner is not working in Edmonton. I understand that this team has been to the Cup final 2 years in a row. Totally get it. And that's something. A lot of other teams, most others in the league, 30 others don't get to that Stanley Cup final. Only 2 do. But it doesn't sit well with me. I'm not confident with the 2 of them in goal. Now, granted, McDavid saying the other day, and I think he's been on repeat a lot of times after they get blown out in games, he's like, okay, we're not going to just single out the goaltending here. We stink in front of them. So you put anybody in goal, it will be a tough night for them. So, yeah, it's hard to watch. It is. And just to see the body language. So when there's no answers given by the captain after, he doesn't have any, you can tell that inside that room after some of these losses, they look around. There's probably not much said, to be honest. Maybe there's some yelling a little bit, as we've seen. But at the end of it is, okay, here we go again. What can we do to fix this? I don't have the answer. I'd love to see them, though, try to get some wins together, because that would be pretty important.
Well, so then with the goaltending, why do you think it worked to an extent? Because it did the last 2 years with Pickard and Skinner, because they're as close as anyone to winning the Stanley Cup as we've seen that didn't win the Stanley Cup in the last couple of years.
I think a big part of it is because of the team that was playing in front of them. I think that they were playing better. And I just said, too, that, you can't single out just Skinner and Pickard for the bad play of Edmonton. But Edmonton's not been good defensively this season.
For sure.
There were some holes last season, yes, but I think they were able to get away with them because they played better than they did as a unit. Even up front, McDavid and Draisaitl aside, but they're just not playing very well as a group. And thank goodness that they have 97 and 29 on their team, because they're 2 of the best in the game. And the discussion point with Edmonton has always been, since they've been there, well, how far can those 2 take them? Yeah, I understand that. It's a team game, though. So I think the biggest difference is just with the way that they're playing. It's a lot different from what we see a season ago and even the year before that. Now, this has kind of been the blueprint for Edmonton, though. They don't play very well, and then they end up going on a nice run, get back in the thick of things, and then next thing you know, you're playing game 6 or 7 of the Stanley Cup final. So there is room for improvement, but I just think there's a bit of a difference between what we're seeing now compared to what we did last year.
You know, I've been saying for the last couple of days, Ryan, on this show that, you know, you always hear that phrase, well, the team has lost faith and lost trust with its goaltender. And that's definitely been said here about the Oilers and Stuart Skinner. But then I turned it around and I said, well, hang on a second. Because of the way the Oilers have been playing, I said, it's fair to say, and it's safe to say, that Stuart Skinner has lost faith and trust in the team that's playing in front of him.
I 100% agree with that. And you know what? You don't hear that take very often because the majority is you've lost faith in the goalie. But you have a good goaltender, you need a good team in front of you. When the team's not playing well, you put one of the best in the game behind you, it is going to be tough. Put Jake Ottinger, put Wedgwood, put Vasilevsky. I don't care who you put in. But if Edmonton does not play well defensively, especially, they're not doing well in the neutral zone either, then it's going to be tough. You may not get blown out 9-1, but you're going to probably still lose the game. So I'm with you. I think that's a great take. I haven't thought about that before, but I think I'm going to use that. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure, Ryan. Hey, just maybe a quick chat about the Olympics and Team Canada coming up. Do you have a player top of mind that maybe is a little off the radar that's come on this year that is being talked about, that is a little more in the discussion than maybe we hadn't seen at the start of the year that is now?
Yeah, that's first. I really hope the rink is going to be ready. That's I'm losing sleep over that, Kevin. I really am. Let's go, Milan. Come on, you don't have a lot of time left, so let's get things going. I'll say this, and this name, it's not going to be someone who we haven't talked about before. And I know the Olympics were a number of years ago, but I'm going to go back to the Four Nations and how incredible that tournament was. And again, you look at the Canadian management team and the U.S. management team. It's not a bad problem to have when you have so many options because you're just so good. Your base, your pool is so deep of incredibly talented players. But I remember when Connor Bedard did not make the team, and there was one game, I think it was after the announcement, he was interviewed after, and I think one of the questions was to him, how do you feel about this? And he looked ticked. Now, I know he wasn't doing well in Chicago, and the team was not doing as well as they are now, and he wasn't specifically. But I just think that kind of got me thinking, okay, this really bothers him. We know the Olympics are coming up. What's he now going to do? So he's not off the radar to me, but what he's been doing, he absolutely deserves a spot. He really does. And then you got some of the young guys too that I really do think I may be in the minority with this. I know you need veteran leadership and guys that have been there before. I totally get it. But the NHL, it's a young game. It's an old boys game, a young man's game. So we're talking late teens, early 20s. And what's the big difference between the Olympics and the NHL? I know you're playing for the country. I know it's a quote unquote bigger stage. But it's still the game. It's still hockey. So you want to make sure that you put out the team that's playing the best, the team that gives you the best chance to win. Fine. Leadership is one thing, understandably so. But you need the youngsters, I think, on both of these teams. So I'm going to go with Bedard. I know that's not kind of a name that's out there whenever off the board, but I absolutely think he deserves to hands down be on this team.
Is there room for both Bedard and Celebrini, Ryan?
That's a great question. I've thought about that. Thinking about losing sleep over the Olympics. I'm losing sleep over that one. If I was the GM, I'm of the adage of put them in. I would put both of them in. Youth to me serves its purpose and it serves things very well. I know that that's going to not be, not sit well with some of the ones that did play in the Four Nations that were older, but at the same time, I just think you need to go with it. And if there's a couple of mistakes, it's okay. You've got a really good team around you. So yeah, if I was certainly the management team, I would, if there's room, I would give them both a really good look, and I would see if I can put them in.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just reading an article this morning too by Edmonton's Derek Van Diest on NHL.com.
Yeah.
Because Dallas was just here, and Wyatt Johnston had a hell of a game.
Yeah,
I mean, the Oilers stunk, but I mean, Wyatt Johnston's another guy that is a young up and comer for sure.
And you know what? The Olympics, again, we're 2 months, whatever it is, two months change away in February. So to me, I know you have to name the rosters and you're going to at some point, obviously before the Olympics, but it's really, what have you done for me lately? If you have somebody like a Wyatt Johnston who is on a roll, say a month out, whatever it is, and whatever the deadline is to make the roster, why not put him in? I mean, it's not like the game's going to change. You want the ones that are playing well. So I don't know. It's I don't envy the decisions, to be honest with you, with all these countries going in. But on a personal note, I can't wait to see it get going.
Hey, I know you got work to do today and the Pucks and Seven podcast too, but how many games do you think you can watch today?
Oh gosh, toughest question out of the bunch. So when I do, you got the TV up and I can do a bit of a split, but then I've got like right now I'm talking to you through this and I've got this iPad to the right. Sometimes I have about 5 or 6 going on. I love doing it. I do. But the thing is today, right? Because it's the Thanksgiving, you're not just, the first game's not at 7 Eastern or 6 o'clock, whatever it is. And you're going all the way through the day. I'm going to space it out. But I can tell you by the end of the night, I'm probably going to be a little bit hockeyed out. Love the game, Kevin, but it's a lot today.
Yeah, because we got Tampa and Detroit coming up here in 20 minutes, and Rangers, Bruins to follow. They're staggered nicely if you can get a lot of.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, Ryan, thanks so much for your time as always. Really appreciate it. Take care, and we'll talk soon.
You bet. Thanks, Kevin.
That's Ryan Payton, Sirius XM NHL Radio, and the Pucks and 7 podcast, and our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter. The true GOAT of local plumbing. That's mrrooter.ca. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. We may be all booked up for requests on Playlist Friday. Hey, but it's Feel Good Friday, too. The weekend's here, so get them in. We'll see if we can get them on. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Make a point, and GS Construction takes them very seriously. We're not talking about fairy tales. GS Construction looks at the story old pipes tell us, a tale of time and pressure and endurance. So when those old pipes are ready to end their story, GS Construction starts a new chapter by repairing or rebuilding, or in some cases, renewing the underground infrastructure that supports our modern lives, making sure every community's story continues on safely and reliably. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Aloha Edmonton, it's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
It's the most festive sale of the season, the Big Bin Sale at Metal Supermarkets. December 1st through 6th, they're clearing out everything in the off-cut bins at 30% off. A wide assortment of miscellaneous metal, 30% off. And remember, metal makes a great stocking stuffer, right, kids? Now go build your dad a nice shelf for the garage. The Big Bin Sale starts December 1st at Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
It's the Nissan Black Friday event, a full month of excitement packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive offers. Right now, finance the Nissan Kicks for 0% for 24 months. Plus, get $1,000 Nissan bonus and enjoy an epic ride wherever you go. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit titansupply.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Playing Sports Select is easy. Visit sportselect.com and generate a QR code or check their how to play videos for step-by-step guidance. Sportselect.com, 100% legal, must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:45 in Edmonton from the request line. Duke, is that your boys there? Is that Shenandoah?
Of course.
You know, I'm just
2 dozen roses.
I'm just kidding. I mean, that's for David Whitetail. Do you think David's doing some toe tapping? This
Oh,
morning?
how can you not be?
How could you not be?
How could you not?
You know, I don't normally text during the show, Duke, because we got other things.
Your own texts or
yeah, my own text, right? We'll do some texting on the line, right?
Mhm.
But normally I try to, because you should be concentrating on other things like your
Like your job.
your interview, what's coming in,
Right.
what's coming up. But I've been texting Brian Prop this morning because we had him on Tuesday. And he reached out to me first and he said, "Hey, would you like a couple cigars for Christmas?" And I'm like, "Wow, absolutely." And we had Brian on Tuesday to talk about his book, Angel on My Wing. And he had a stroke 10 years ago. And man, I mean, he, like you said in the interview on Tuesday, and you can find that where all our podcasts are and things like that. He was as close to death as you can possibly imagine. And he worked his butt off rehabbing and with so much therapy in 2-3 years after the stroke happened, that his quality of life got back to, okay. And he's continued that. As he said, he's almost where he was, before the stroke. He said some things with his hands aren't the greatest for golf and things like that, but he still gets out and exercises and plays and does things like that. So anyway, I was just tickled that he reached out, and that's thanks to Frank Saravalli for lining that up. And I think I'll have a little early Christmas present, Duke, a couple of Guffaw cigars, and go to Brian's website. It's just check Brian Prop at Guffaw, and he has a cigar company, and looks like we'll have a cigar for Christmas, Duke. 833-401-1440. Text rolling in. VR Greg said the first band I saw was the Stampeders in Nova Scotia in the early 70s. I can't say the last thing, Greg, but VR Greg. But he said he had a good time. Scott texts in. I'm going to get to this one, and this sort of irks me. I'll be honest with you, Scott. Sorry to say this to you, but and this was the conversation that we had with Ryan Payton, and a conversation that I've had with other guys, our co-hosts on Wednesday, Thursday, David Schlemko, Ladislav Schmid yesterday. I brought this. It's a phrase. It's a term up regarding the Oilers and their defensive play and their goaltending. Scott texts in and says, "So funny, you guys thinking that Skinner has lost faith in his team. His team lost faith in him last year. The media stroking Skinner is so old and tired." You know, Scott, it's just a not well thought out text. It just isn't. He goes on and says his numbers aren't good. Well, we all know what the numbers are, Scott. Everyone knows. The Oilers are the worst defensive team in the league. Everyone knows that. Have you watched the games and seen how the goals are scored? So to come out and say, because it's been said a million times that this team has lost faith in their goaltending. That's been said a million times, Scott. So to come out and say the exact opposite because of how the team is playing and run down, go through all 4 goals and look at the breakdowns. Look at how many times the Oilers were outmanning Dallas and lost 50-50 battles every time. Made poor decisions. Decided to go here rather than there. Puck watching. Not sharp, not hard in front of your net, in front of your goaltending. What do you think a goaltender's thinking when he's looking at 25 bell shots every game? Do you think a phrase like creeping into his mind saying, is it crazy to think that the goaltending's lost faith in the team in front of them? It's not. Eight 401-1440. Sizzler says, Scott is absolutely right. You guys only see what's in front of you. Well, explain that to me, Sizzler. Explain it. The team is playing like this because they lost faith in Skinner? Not a chance. There is no chance that a team would play like this to sewer anyone else on their team. That's not what a team is, Sizzler. He goes, so crazy that you don't see that. I don't get where you're coming from, Sizzler. Come on. You think that the players are going to go, oh, we're not going to play hard. We're not going to do anything in front of our goaltenders because we want them out of here. We want new goalies. Is that what you think? So crazy that you don't see that. Starting to get a little riled up, Duke. 833-401-1440. Gordon D texts in. Good morning, KK. The Oilers' problems are 75% defensive coverage and 25% goaltenders. I'll be honest, I never really thought about putting a number on it, Gordon. And again, I think about it in the sense of what team defense is and how hard you play within a system that is supposed to be working well when everyone does their job. What happens when you don't do your job? And what happens too when you decide to move outside of your element and do something else on the play that isn't required of your job on that particular play? Bust down all those goals again. I mean, it's a play behind the net. What happens? It's a 50-50 battle behind the net. Jamie Benn is in front. Wyatt Johnston outworks behind the net. The second goal's a power play goal, but Skinner makes a pretty darn good save, does he not? There's three guys standing around one guy on the Dallas Stars. The third goal, you see Trent Frederick going off. You see Leon standing beside the bench. You see the Oilers totally outmanning what Dallas is bringing into the zone. It's a 2-on-1 where Kulak loses a battle along the boards. Emerson turns the 2-on-1 into a breakaway for Bastian because he totally moves over 3 feet to where he's supposed to be. The 4-0 goals an Ekholm giveaway, but after the puck clears the Oilers zone, is it not? Is it not a 3-on-3? Absolutely it is. And you have a guy standing in front of the net in the crease for 3-4 seconds. Eight 401-1440. I guess Sizzler and I are going to be getting into it here on the text line. He goes, explain last year then. The team played great in front of him and he was horrible. So he was horrible. They were again. He came back after being pulled in the Kings series and came back and out-goalied Jake Ottinger. So is that horrible, Sizzler? And then got to where it's 2-2 in the Stanley Cup final? And the team played absolutely horrible in games 5 and 6. So I hope I explained that if he was still horrible. There are so many other things here than goaltending. So many. And it has to be rectified, and it has to be rectified soon. And I think the Oilers are going to do that tomorrow. Anything I'm missing here on the text line, Duke, so I can have a drink of water or tea here?
No, I think you listen. What I think people and some listeners and texters maybe miss is that like they see their go-to seems to be that, you know, Kevin, whether it be you or myself or Connor or Gregor or Lowtide or whomever, they're like, all you guys do is defend the goaltending.
Yeah.
Well, okay, there's a difference between acknowledging that the goaltending can be better, and if there's an upgrade out there, the team should pursue it, and absolutely just saying, well, if there was a different goalie in it, this team would be 25-0.
Yeah.
Right? Like, two things can be true at once. The goaltending has not played well enough. Fact. The team in front of them has been on more nights than not absolutely abysmal in their defensive zone coverage.
Fact.
Those two things can be true beside each other. They are not mutually exclusive. So when texters chime in, and they're absolutely entitled to their opinion about it just as much as you and I are, Kevin. And they say like, well, the goaltending, just get a new goalie and it'll fix all the problems. That's just not true. And to suggest that this team is intentionally self-sabotaging to force the hand of management to get a different goaltender, it's absolutely ludicrous.
Asinine is what it is. Looking forward to talking a little basketball, and we're going to even bring in Josh Fenwick here to ask Paul Sir a couple of questions regarding, we got a Rookie of the Year candidate. What was the other one, Fenwick, that you talked about it at the coffee machine? You said
Jalen Williams,
Jalen Williams.
The real Jalen Williams. J-Dub. He's back from injury, and they're playing Paul Sir's Minnesota Timberwolves.
There you go.
Well, they're playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, or maybe they played already. They played the Minnesota Timberwolves. So, and they lost. Shocker. So, a couple questions about J-Dub and the T-Wolves and some other things in there.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this. That's coming right after the break. Paul's here from Hoop City. We also got Al Kiniski from the Seattle Kraken, analyst with the team. That's coming up at 10:20. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
NHL back on the ice today for a 15-game Black Friday slate starting at 10 o'clock this morning with the Lightning, Red Wings. Couple win streaks on the line in Avalanche, Wild. Calgary playing Florida. Sharks take on the Canucks. Blues face the Sens. Brady Tkachuk making his return in that one. Vegas hosting Montreal. Winnipeg playing Carolina. Toronto in Washington. And Dallas hosts Utah in the nightcap. Off the ice, Montreal signing Mike Matheson to a 5-year extension, carrying a cap hit of $6 million. Matheson in the final year of an 8-year, $39 million deal. At the junior level, Oil Kings down in Red Deer tonight. The Spruce Grove Saints host Surrey. Puck drop at 7 at the Thompson Family Arena. Crusaders are down in Brooks. And in the AJ, Drayton Valley and Bonnyville, both with home games tonight just outside the city. NFL resuming Week 13 action today with the Eagles hosting the NFC North leading Chicago Bears in Philadelphia. Kickoff for that one at 1 o'clock, and 11 games on the hardwood, including Cleveland, Atlanta, the East leading Pistons hosting Orlando. Nuggets take on the Spurs, and the Thunder take a 10-game win streak into their game against Phoenix. Canadian Olympic curling trials begin this morning with their final best-of-3 matchups. Rachel Holman's ring taking on Nova Scotia's own Christina Black, and the men's final between Dunstone and Jacobs getting underway at 4. Finally, collegiate level action in our city tonight. Ooks, Griffins, Bears, and Pandas volleyball, all with home games. Pandas hockey playing Trinity Western at the Drake, and the Ooks women's hockey team takes on RDP from the Nate Arena. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Paul Sir from Hoop City and Seattle Kraken analyst Al Kiniski. I'm Brandon Douglas. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game. Go deep. What you watching, Mr. Rooter? The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch. Wow. Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered. With half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West Ed and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Sleep is for the off-season. What off-season? Sports 1440 is live, loud, and locked 24/7. Oilers, Elks, Riverhawks, Stingers, Oil Kings. We've got your picks. Edmonton is home to sports. It's Sports 1440.
Tonight, 6 till midnight. Don't miss the 71st annual Kinsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person tonight at the Bailey Theater on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:01 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440. Time to talk a little hoops here with Paul Sir from Hoop City, the former Winona State Warrior with the Fu Manchu mustache. Good morning, Paul. Thanks for coming on again. Really appreciate it, big guy.
Well, I'm just glad you didn't mention the short shorts. I'll take the Fu Manchu, but
was it really was it really a Fu Manchu all the way down? Like, I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, I had the 70s look down, the high tight shorts, the high socks. I mean, man, you can't beat that.
Yeah, I just found the picture now again from your Hall of Fame induction. What year was the Hall of Fame induction? 98? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm seeing the short shorts. The Fu Man, I thought you could have brought that down maybe an inch or two for some handlebar action, Paul.
Well, I could have, but the girls didn't like it quite that low, so I just stuck with that. I tried to hit that perfect length.
Well, yeah. Hey, never mind, Paul. I'm just looking at the legs here, and you must have been doing some serious squats back in the day.
I'll tell you, I had great, powerful legs and no upper body, so it was a bad combo.
Oh, this is a great picture. We got to get this picture up here in the Sports 1440 studios.
Oh, definitely. Yes, that's a must.
Oh,
That'll
man,
bring
oh,
the
man.
viewership up.
Oh, for sure it would, for sure. Hey, I'm sure you, like everyone, Paul, had the Toronto Raptors 14-5 out of the gates with a 9-game winning streak.
Oh yeah, that was just everything's according to plan. I mean, to say they've exceeded expectations would be a gross understatement. The thing is, they're a really good basketball team that is a lot of fun to watch, and their chemistry is fantastic. They've got individual stars that are performing at a high level. They play really well together. Wow, I mean, there's a lot to be excited about with this team. If they get RJ back and they can stay healthy, this is a team that can make some noise in the East.
I mean, the depth is one thing, and you just mentioned RJ Barrett too, but is everything revolving around Brandon Ingram here, or is it too crazy to say that because of how much cohesiveness and how things are spread out?
Well, Ingram's had he had the clutch moment the other night against Indiana, where he hit the game-winning shot. The game before, he had 37. Yeah. But I would not go so far as to say that the team hinges completely on him, which is the reason I think they're 14-5 is because Scotty Barnes is playing at a higher level than he ever has. And what's nice about what Scotty's doing, I think, Kevin, is one of the doubts that I think people had, myself included, was would he be Ingram-like or the guy that you need to get you 25 to 30 on a night?
Mm-hmm.
And he's really not that kind of player, I don't think. His versatility is his strength. And to have players around him, certainly like Brandon, but then like RJ, I think it plays perfectly into Scotty's great abilities. He's a tremendous defender. He's a willing and very good passer, and he can score in a variety of ways. But I think he's at his most comfortable and at his best when he's part of a team. And Ingram is the focal point and the go-to guy late in the shot clock. So I think they've got a good balance. And so it's not totally dependent on Ingram, but he is the key piece now that he's healthy that has made this streak and this record possible.
Yeah, revolving was the wrong word for me to use, Paul, but because he's such a part, and again, they spread things out, and it's just because they're playing such like as a team right now, more so than maybe we've seen for 5-6 years. Is that safe to say?
Safe to say, but I also think it's because it's easier to play as a team when you have the level and quality of players the Raptors have had. They haven't had this kind of talent healthy and on the court together for 4 or 5 years. And so I think what we're seeing is that, Masai Ujiri wasn't crazy when he went after Brandon Ingram, even though he was injured and didn't play at all last year. But I think what the Raptors have is a great blend of talent, complement, good locker room. And of course, the sun always, in sport, the sun always shines brightest when you're winning. And your locker room is harmonious. And, the birds are singing, everything's great. But that comes from a good place because this team genuinely likes playing together and seems to genuinely like each other. So they've got the right balance, and my gosh, out of the gates, they're I think giving Raptors fans and Canadian basketball fans something to be very excited about.
Paul Sir from Hoop City, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show. You can hear Paul tomorrow morning, 10 to 12, with Josh Fenwick, who is going to jump in here because he's got a very important question for you, Paul. Something we discussed at the coffee machine this morning.
Hey, Paul, how's it going?
Good, Josh. How are you?
I'm living the dream, pal. Looking forward to tomorrow. So Jalen Williams, he's coming back for the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight against the Phoenix Suns. They're 18-1. How much bigger do you think the difference is between the Thunder and every other team in the West, but in the league now?
The best image I could say would be like a high school team playing in a junior high league right now. They're just better than everybody by so much. Their only losses in overtime by a couple of points. They're just so much better than everybody. They're hitting on all cylinders. Now they get a top 10 NBA player back into the lineup. Again, another team, and this is what's scary, that genuinely seems to like each other and like playing together. They're in that spot that very few teams have ever been in NBA history. You can point probably to a couple of Chicago Bulls teams, Lakers with Magic, Bird, and the Celtics in a given year. But this team, wow, they're going to be. Are they going to lose another game, Josh? I mean, right now it feels like they shouldn't, and maybe they won't, because they're just so much better than everybody.
Do you have a follow-up, Josh? That's kind of how this business works.
Yeah, no, totally. So I guess in the same vein as the Thunder, but going to a different team in the West, another promising young player, your Minnesota Timberwolves lose by 8 to the Thunder on Wednesday. What's happening in Minnesota?
They can't beat anybody that's any good. And I think tomorrow on our show, we have Alan Horton, the longtime radio play-by-play voice of the Timberwolves on, and we'll talk about their woes. I think they did not get better in the offseason. I think they took a gamble by giving up Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Canadian, who is now down in Atlanta, playing pretty well, but their depth is highly suspect. Their bench is, aside from Naz Reid, is dreadful. And they just are not able to put teams away. Plus, they've laid some eggs late in the game where they've had big leads. I think against the Suns, they were up 8 or 9 with 50 seconds to go and found a way to lose it in regulation. So they're not hitting on all cylinders. Edwards was hurt. Anthony Edwards, that is. He hasn't been as good as he's been, but I think teams are able to key on him more. And his game isn't, he's not like SGA. His game can be figured out. And if he can be bothered, where SGA's versatility doesn't allow you to bother him, because whatever you take away from him, he's got a counter to. Edwards doesn't quite have that. He has tremendous athletic ability. He shoots the ball pretty well, but he has to hang on to the ball so long to get his shots. The Wolves just are not in a good place chemistry-wise right now. And they've beat most of the bad teams they're supposed to beat, but they literally have not beat a team over 500 this year. And so, they're Wolves aren't in what I would consider to be a good place. I know they're scratching their heads right now.
Paul Sir with us from Hoop City. Excellent job there, Josh. That follow-up, just unbelievable. Our buddy Husks has texted in. Paul with his question for you whenever you come on. Wondering Mr. Sir's thoughts on Con Kneppel. He's my rookie of the year, and if he stays healthy, by the time he is done, he could sit atop the list for threes made. Well, the last one's a big, that's a long time away, but where do you sit on maybe the rookie of the year? And he's leading the way for rookies with scoring and everything right now, Paul.
Top 2 rookies are 2 Dukies, Kneppel and Cooper Flagg. I think everybody expected that to be reversed. There were some questions whether Kneppel could play in the NBA. People were worried about his athleticism and blah, blah, blah. But anybody that I thought knew basketball and watched him play for Duke last year thought this guy's can't miss NBA player. He's bigger than you think he is. You know, like he's a legit 6'6". He shoots the ball, as Husks points out, extremely well. It's hard to extrapolate out down the career path. But yes, if he stays healthy and plays for a long, long time, he could be the leading NBA three-point shooter of all time. That's a big if. Yeah. But he's come out of the gate. He's mature beyond his years, and especially when you think he only played 1 year at Duke. This kid can flat out play. His basketball IQ is through the roof. His skill set is through the roof. Great teammate, real solid individual. And man, can he play both sides of the ball? I just, you can't say enough good things about him. And Cooper Flagg is playing extremely well in a real difficult situation. And by the way, I have a nominee for a GM of the year, Kevin.
Okay, who's that?
Nico Harris.
Okay. Wow.
He should be GM of the year because but for the Los Angeles Lakers. Because he transformed the Lakers into an NBA contender by making the dumbest trade in NBA history. So I think he should be in a reverse osmosis in Bizarro world. He should be the GM of the year.
Oh, that's funny stuff. Good stuff. It's crazy. Like with the NFL taking over Thanksgiving Thursdays, Paul, the NHL goes quiet, NBA goes quiet, but then everyone's playing in the NHL tonight and so many games today in the NBA on this long slate of games. Is there something that one game or two in particular that's catching your eye that you want to tune into today?
I really don't have one like this. I'm still confused about what this tournament's all about and all this crap and all the courts. So my whole world's upset. To me, controversy in the NBA was the parquet floor in the Boston Garden. Now you've got every color of the rainbow and all this and this thing going on. So there's no real game that jumps out at me other than can OKC keep up their streak? Mm-hmm. Could Minnesota beat somebody over 500? Boston Celtics, I think, have performed better than expected. I really love that Eric Spoelstra, who just won his 800th game, demonstrates night in and night out why he is such a great coach, because he completely changed his style of play from a plod and defensive style into the fastest pace in the NBA. I'll tell you what, though, Kevin, this is kind of an overall observation on my part. The NBA is the most watchable form of itself that I've seen in a long, long time. The league is fun to watch this year.
So what makes you say that, Paul?
Faster pace of play, a greater variety in the way teams are playing. And I keep going back to, this is one of the after effects of the impact that the OKC Thunder have had on the league, because it is a league of everybody imitates everybody else. But what they're imitating right now is team culture in the locker room. That's why Ja Morant being shopped around is such a hard guy to trade for, because you're not going to get that in the locker room from him. But also style of play varying from team to team. They're not all just trying to play the same way. There are wrinkles, nuances that are specific to teams and the blend of talent that they have. So you're seeing greater variety than I've seen in a long, long time. Plus, I think the effort and intensity is up. So I just find the NBA, it's no longer the boring regular season of just, teams half-heartedly showing up. There seems to be a sense of urgency on the court right now and a greater depth of talent. So I think the NBA is in the best place it's been in a long, long time.
What else is coming up tomorrow in Hoop City, Paul?
God, we have a good show.
Oh, great.
God, Kevin, honest. We have Jeff Pippas, the new head coach of the nationally ranked Golden Bear, University of Alberta Golden Bear basketball team. It'll be the first time we've had the chance to talk with Jeff. We have Scott Edwards, the 2-decade excellent coach of the University of Alberta Pandas, second in the country. Fantastic, maybe Scott's best team at the U of A. Alan Horton from the Timberwolves, like I mentioned before. And then our deep dive is with my guy, Ben Golliver. And there is nobody better. If you want to understand, learn, know about the game, listen to Ben, because he is the best. So Ben will be on with us at 11 o'clock for the deep dive. So we'll really go into the weeds. So I think we have a great lineup.
Yeah, great stuff. And as always, thanks, Paul, for coming on. Love talking hoops with you. Take care of Joshua tomorrow.
Too.
He's reeling now after that re-ask and follow-up question.
Looking forward to seeing Josh tomorrow. Always a pleasure, Kevin.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great
You
weekend.
too, Paul. Thanks a lot. Hoop City tomorrow, 10 o'clock till 12, right here on Sports 1440, following the Triple S Pulsar and Josh Fenwick. When we come back, Al Kaniski, Seattle Kraken analyst, will preview tomorrow's game between the Kraken and the Edmonton Oilers. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
We want orange. Give us the orange. We want orange. Bring back the orange.
You got it, Canada. Booster Juice orange smoothies are back by popular demand. The original, the marathon, and orangesicle smoothies are back and bursting with tangy zest of oranges. They're Canadian favorites. Orange, you glad they're back? Only for a limited time. So squeeze the day, smoothie lovers, and head to a Booster Juice near you now. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Now for today's holiday special, Legacy Heating and Cooling saves Christmas. Santa's furnace broke down in the shop last night, and the elves couldn't make any toys, that's right, so Santa called up his pals at Legacy Heating. And ho, 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 golly gee, 1 year, no payments, interest-free, and the elves are working merrily with a brand new furnace from Legacy. Happy holidays from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Heavy Truck Auction is next Thursday at 9 a.m. with Tridom, tandem, and single-axle trucks, including tractors, decks, dumps, plows, vacs, man lifts, pickers, refuse trucks, and more. Info at maauctions.com.
This Black Friday, transform your state of mind with Calm Radio. Enhance focus with timeless classical masterpieces. Unwind to soothing nature soundscapes, or drift into deep rest with our sleep music and wellness content. With 60% off a yearly membership, it's the perfect time to elevate your daily routine. Create calm in every moment and reconnect with yourself. Visit calmradio.com and begin your transformation today.
Missioner Allen Auctioneering's next Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Industrial Auctions are next Thursday and Friday at 9 a.m. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large selection of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
A veteran of the Edmonton sports scene for over 3 decades, the Kevin Karius Show, powered by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
Oh, all right. Welcome back to the big program. What are you trying to do, Duke? Send everyone off the deep end here in town?
That came in request.
That was from the request. Michelle, I believe, right?
Yes.
She said it was her last day of work or something?
Well, it said last day in Edmonton, so I don't know if she's moving or what the story is, but she wanted to hear that one to try and change the vibes around the Oilers.
Well, maybe it'll happen. Who knows? That's time now for our game of the day, which is technically tomorrow, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where 2025 Jeep Wranglers are closing out right now. 0% financing for up to 72 months. A great selection with all the new colors, the Sport, the Willys, Sahara, even the Rubicons are on the lot at stalbertdodge.com as we welcome in Al Kaniski from Seattle and the Seattle Kraken analyst. Morning, Al. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys.
I got to go back first because I knew that you had played in Seattle, Al, but I didn't know that you were an old SJHLer in Nipawin.
Yeah, that goes back even a year further than that. I started out my junior career way up there in Saskatchewan, a little town of 1,000 people called Nipawin, and that was the time where you had to decide between tier 1 junior or tier 2 junior, and I wanted one more year to think about it, so that was the path I chose.
Well, I just missed you. I played in Melville from 84 to 88. So when you were 89, right, in Nipawin?
Yeah, 89, yeah. So the league.
So absolutely, yeah. And I mean, know a lot of guys that played up in Nipawin and been up there many, many times too. So how the heck did you end up there?
I had a family friend who knew a player on the team and literally connected me with the coach. I ended up driving out there from Vancouver with him in his pickup truck. I mean, my parents had a lot of faith in this in this choice, but yeah, I drove out there and I guess I had a spot on the team because what if I didn't? I guess I'd be driving back, but that's not the way it went down. And all of a sudden, we were doing trips to Melville and Flin Flon, Manitoba. Had my very first bench brawl in Flin Flon, Manitoba. That was a sight for crazy eyes.
The Whitney Forum.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh man, yeah, those were the days for sure. Well, sometime we'll have to talk about it off camera.
Yeah.
Tell some old tales. But so you ended up going to Seattle. You play in the Western League for several years, and you that's where you started your post hockey career, and you've been around a long time. Just maybe tell our listeners how you got to end up to be the Kraken analyst here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so I've been in Seattle since my career ended, and been actually in the tech world of Seattle. But along the way, started doing some color commentating, color analyst work with the local junior team, not the Seattle Thunderbirds, but the Everett Silvertips. And they offered me a deal where I could do home games. I could travel as much as my schedule allowed. So I would do 40, 50 games a season alongside of a few different broadcasters in the 10 years that I was there. And it was a fun paid hobby, a great way to stay connected to junior hockey. Had no aspirations of anything other than that. Of course, Seattle gets a team. I throw my hat in the ring, don't hear anything for a couple of years. And then a few years ago, get a phone call and they asked me if I'm still interested. So I hang up the tech world hat, and I've been doing that ever since.
Oh, it's a hell of a story. Well, let's talk about the Seattle team right now that is, it's in the playoff mix right now. And got some older guys. They got some guys coming up. How would you just assess how the first third of the season's gone so far, Al?
Well, I think the big question mark was the effect of Lane Lambert, the new coach here in Seattle. What effect his systems were going to have on this team? And, coming in, there was a 12% chance of Seattle making the playoffs this year. I think the last time I saw it was up in the upper 60s. And I think a lot of that has to do with the Lane Lambert system. It's a very defensive-minded system, a very responsible system. And the guys have definitely bought off on it. Now, what that means for us as broadcasters is there's a lot of 2-1, 3-2 games, a lot of close games. Heck, it was 0-0 on the island out in New York last week going to overtime. So 2 goaltenders got shutouts, and it was a shootout loss for the Kraken. So I think you're going to see a lot of those kinds of games this year. But as a result, 10 games have gone to overtime where the Kraken have gotten points in those games. And that's one of the reasons that they're in a playoff spot right now. The other reason is they've had great goaltending. They're carrying 3 right now. One's out injured, Matt Murray, but all 3 of them have 900 or better save percentages. So you couple great goaltending with great defensive structure and jumping on your offensive opportunities when you get them. That's why this team is where they are right now.
Al Kaniski with us on Sports 1440, color analyst for the Seattle Kraken. We always want to know how Jordan Eberle's doing because he had such a long period of time here in Edmonton. Al, how would you describe the leadership that he's provided to this group and just what he's meant to this franchise?
Yeah, I mean, Jordan is such he's one of those calm leaders. Like, he'll speak up loudly when he needs to, but he's one of the first guys on the ice, one of the last guys on. He sets that standard very high for everybody. Obviously, he's been in the league a long time, but he's still, he's second in the league in points right now. And effectively, as far as the health of the team goes, he's first because Jaden Schwartz, who was in that position, is out injured right now. So he's going to carry a lot of the load for the next the period of time. But he's the kind of guy where young players feel comfortable going up to him. Berkeley Catton, who's one of those young players, had aspirations to be like Jordan Eberle, and he's been on lines with them now. So it's great to see Berkeley Catton having that opportunity to develop alongside of a guy like Jordan Eberle.
Al Kaniski with us on Sports 1440. Al, Grant Fuhr was our co-host here in our first year, 3 years ago when we went on the air, and I've known Grant a long time. And as you know, he's been down in Coachella Valley and been the analyst for the farm team. And so we got to know so many players within the Seattle organization through Grant. And, one of the guys was Riker Evans, and he kept talking about Riker Evans and his, potential. He's been in and out this year. What can you tell us about how his season's going?
Yeah, Riker's, a very responsible defensive player, but at the same time, that's the way he was when he first came to the team. I think in the time he's gotten here until this season, what's kind of blossomed for him is that offensive side of the puck. What's blossomed for him is his tenacity, his physicality. You're starting to see him, initiate a lot more contact than you did maybe in those first 60 games. And I love that about him because, he's held on to that responsible defensive mindset, but now he's starting to contribute more offensively. He's starting to win more puck battles. And, when you've got defensemen that can do that, you just get up the ice faster. And Riker's one of those guys where the sky's the limit for him. He could definitely be, a top pairing defenseman on this team in a couple of years.
How would you assess Matty Beniers and his journey here so far? I mean, the guy's played, he's coming up to 300 games already.
Yeah.
He's 22 years old. So after winning the Rookie of the Year in the Calder, he, had a bit of a regression. Where's he at right now, Al?
Yeah, I think that he's on his own development path, and you're right. After a bit of a down year, a regression year, he's come back, and what I see biggest in his game is his 200-foot game. Everybody talks about that 200-foot game, but in that Calder year, most of what you saw that stood out to him was in the offensive end of the ice, and you're thinking, well, are you going to get this every year? And of course, after you win that Calder Trophy, you get a lot more attention, and so that's probably what fed into that down year a little bit. I think Matty Beniers developing the rest of his game, his defensive game, is what stood out to me. He's still contributing offensively, but now you're seeing him stronger on the puck, stronger along the boards, going to the front of the net and battling for space. Whereas I think before, you saw a lot of his skill come out in his shooting around the perimeter and his playmaking around the perimeter. So I think he's becoming a more well-rounded player from that standpoint.
Yeah. Al Kaniski, Seattle Kraken analyst with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. When Adam Larson went to Seattle, and, we know his story and we know him well here, and when he partnered up with Vince Dunn, it was two guys that were just almost meant to play together. How much has that duo meant to this Seattle team? Yeah,
I mean, there are pairings in the league and there are lines in the league that rarely get broken up. This has got to be near the top with these two guys. It's not to say they couldn't play with anybody, but it's almost like 1 + 1 = 3 with those guys. They play well off of each other. They know each other's games so well, but Adam Larson, he's always near the top or at the top in block shots. In fact, I felt bad in the Dallas loss the other night, the 3-2 Dallas loss. It was the game-winning goal that Adam threw himself in front of to try and block the shot, and it just missed his knee pad, obviously finding the back of the net. And so it ended up being a screen, but his intention was to throw himself in front of the puck. And I think when you've got defensemen that are sacrificing themselves like that, as often as possible, you're stopping so many pucks from getting to the front of the net, and that's Adam Larson's game. Every once in a while, you see him get it on goal. You see him get a breakaway or a shot on net that results in a goal, and you're excited for him. But make no mistake, he is a true defensive defenseman, and he prides himself on that.
Hey, what happened to Jared McCann the other night against Dallas on Wednesday night, Al? And is everything okay? Because he's missed all of the season here.
Yeah, I mean, he's been skating a regular jersey for about a week. Came out on the 4-game road trip with us. We thought, well, maybe he's going to see one of these games. He didn't. He's excited to get back in the lineup. He was clearly excited to be around the team. So we figured, well, if he didn't get into this road game, he was going to get into the first home game coming back, which he did. Yeah. And 17 seconds into the game, his stick gets lifted aggressively, and it's his own stick that hits him square in the face, draws blood, 4-minute minor because of the lifted stick. And but right away you're thinking, oh no, is he out again? And as soon as you could see it was blood coming down from his face, barring any eye injury or something like that, you're thinking, okay, well, some stitches and back on the ice. And sure enough, he came back and finished the period.
Yeah, good stuff. Al Kaniski with us on Sports 1440. Can you maybe just tell our listeners about the growth of hockey in Seattle? So, when you were playing junior for the Thunderbirds there, it's coming up 35 years already, to where, there was whispers of getting an NHL team to where they are now. Maybe just speak to that in the last couple of decades here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, back in the early 90s, when I was playing and you went to school, people thought you were a professional hockey player. They're like, hey, we know you're a pro. Could we just get some of the homework done? We'd appreciate that. I think that mindset's obviously shifted a lot now. When you've got junior hockey alongside of pro hockey, you start to see the differences in it. Obviously, Everett didn't have a team back then. Everett's now got a team. That helps with the growth of hockey, but nothing helps more than having a pro team. We've seen that around the league. Arizona is a great example of that. Obviously, they don't have one right now, but you see players starting to come out of these cities that are now professionals, and I think that Seattle will continue to see that grow. Minor hockey was such a small sport in the early 90s and into the 2000s, and that's another thing that's exploded since Seattle got here as well. Obviously, the Kraken have a large part in promoting that, but the access to rinks, which continues to grow. The Northgate practice facility has 3 arenas. There's discussions about adding another arena to the east side. So the access to arenas goes up, the support of minor hockey goes up, the number of teams goes up, and eventually you start to see kids from Seattle, Washington on NHL rosters.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what was it like to play with Peter Nedved in Seattle? Because it was such a big deal coming out of the Max, and he was such a young guy.
Yeah, I mean, as the players in the team, we knew very little about it other than, this kid showed up from the Czech Republic and he's very good. And I was fortunate enough to play on his line. He was a center, I was a winger, and Turner Stevenson on the right-hand side. And so we would get out there and we'd be in our own zone and we'd look up and he'd be hanging out by the red line. Like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm waiting for the puck, So he had to learn the defensive side of the game a little bit, but even still, he was often the first one to fly the defensive zone once the puck got turned over. And fantastic hands. He was so skilled at putting the puck in the net that you just had to get him the puck, and you get an apple on the play every time. But the thing I remember about Peter Nedved too was Coca-Cola was a big thing to him. I don't know if they didn't have it in the Czech Republic. I don't know if it was expensive, but he could not get enough Coca-Cola. That was just as important to him as playing hockey in North America, was having access to Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's very true. A lot of the the players from the Eastern Bloc and before the guys started coming over in the late 80s, they couldn't get it over there, and they drink it like water here for sure. Hey, Al, thanks so much for this, and we'll have to have a chat when you get into town here and talk small times and take her from there. Appreciate you coming on. Take care.
Thanks for having me.
That's Al Kaniski, Seattle Kraken analyst, and that's the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. And again, the Jeep Wranglers are on the lot, and there's on sale right now with 0% financing for 72 months. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com. You know where else he played in the Western League, Duke? Played in Lethbridge.
Hurricanos.
And he played with longtime listener of the show, guest of the show in studio, Shane Peacock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they played together. I think Al was traded his final year in Seattle, was traded to Seattle, and Shane Peacock was there. Those are the days, Duke. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. We'll wrap up the show. The Duke and I got to do our picks for today's game at 11 o'clock. We'll give you an update on the curling that's going on. The best of 3 final is underway between Christina Black and Rachel Homan. Early on, it is scoreless in the second end, but Homan's got the hammer. That's all coming up on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game. Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter? The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Aloha Edmonton, it's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
Sleep is for the off-season. What off-season? Sports 1440 is live, loud, and locked 24/7. Oilers, Elks, Riverhawks, Stingers, Oil Kings. We've got your fix. Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
At Sherwood Honda, SUV must stand for Sell Us Vehicles. Because if you have an SUV, Sherwood Honda sure would love to buy it. Any make, any model. If you're driving an SUV that's in good shape and yours to sell, you should turn around and head to Sherwood Honda for a really good price. And if you're not driving an SUV, that's okay. Sherwood Honda sure would still be happy to sell you a vehicle too.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1041 in Edmonton. Marty Stevens just came in and said, Duke, you don't play a song? What's going on, man? What's going on here?
Filled up too fast.
Yeah. What was his song request, by the way?
It was something about snow. Oh, come on, open.
Probably something from The Breeze.
Marty's request. Where are we here? Springtime in Alaska.
By who?
I don't know. Never heard of it before.
Yeah.
I only know north to Alaska.
I saw this repost by our buddy Connor Halley regarding a post from Max Hers, who covers the Nashville Predators, saying that Reed Schaefer is on the ice for the Predators morning skate in Chicago would be his NHL debut. He was drafted first overall, local product by the Oilers, but traded to Nashville as part of the Matthias Ekholm trade at the deadline at 2023. So his first game could be tonight. He's had injury problems. He's been, up in Milwaukee. He's been out of the lineup a lot, but he's as big as it gets when you come to forwards in the NHL that can skate. He's a big boy for sure. Well, Duke, I guess we got to get our picks going. Hey, what else do we got to do today here?
That's it.
So we have 2 picks going on. Oh, I just wanted to mention, and he just texted me back just now. Al Kaniski, who we just had on. Guess who else will be doing? How about this? A teammate of Al Kaniski's. A teammate of Al Kaniski's will also be doing the game tomorrow in Seattle. Is there any chance you could figure that out, Duke?
Struddy?
Close. No, not close.
Oh, wait. Yeah, no, I wouldn't overlap.
No,
Because he's just...
It's a road game, but it's true that Struddy could be doing the...
Maybe doing the panel back
here, no.
from our side.
I won't keep you hanging. Cam Moon.
Oh, really?
Yes, Cam
Mooner.
Moon. Yeah, Mooner. And I just texted him. I haven't looked what he texted back, but Mooner and Al Kaniski played together in Nipawin back in that 89 season.
Wow. What connections we're making today.
It's hard to believe. And I knew Al, I said, well, I know he played in Seattle. And this is a long time ago, and you're going back. And he's been there for a couple of years now with the Kraken broadcast team. But I was like, okay. Then I checked out that Hawks lineup, and I see one of the starting goaltenders, Cam Moon.
Rebels legend.
Yes. All right, Duke. So our picks, what happened yesterday? Let's go through the picks from yesterday.
So yesterday, if anybody missed it, Kevin had the first choice, and he took the Cowboys to cover.
Yes.
Check.
I
then took the Lions to cover as favorites. Incorrect. Another one for Kevin. And then in the nightcap, Kevin, high on Joe Burr and the Bengals to make things happen in Baltimore. Cover 7.5 points. Forget that. They win outright, as all underdogs did yesterday. And the record, the gap is again tight. It is as tight as it has been since the opening weeks of the season. 27, 29, and 1.
29.
And that reads my wins, your wins, and draws. Or push if you prefer.
Man, this is exciting because this was over. Everyone thought, our listeners thought it was over.
You crawled back into it while Donovan was here.
It was 3-2.
And then I managed to get a little pushback again. I had a good last weekend. You nearly swept me Grey Cup weekend.
Yeah, that was the big one.
That was a big one, but then I pushed back last week, and now week 13 has been yours very strongly. So I need a couple dubs here.
You are first pick. What we're looking at here.
So this afternoon, excuse me, the Black Friday game in Philadelphia, the Bears are 7-point underdogs against the Eagles on the road.
Chicago?
And then Sunday night football, the Washington Commies hosting Denver Broncos. Denver favored 5.5.
So Denver minus 5.5. And we got Daniels back.
Maybe.
At Wash. He's back, is he not?
Let's see.
So here's the thing too, Duke. And I mean, while you were gone and while you have been here as well, you have thrown the phrase out many times, many times.
Jane Daniels was limited on yesterday's injury report.
He's back.
Left elbow. Questionable.
Okay. All right. So anyway, you have the ability to pick either game.
Yeah. We've made that for the Sundays slates. We'll run through. We don't have to pick them in order. We just pick them at There's a unique case with the Friday, but I am going to go to Sunday night because I'm really not sure about today's game. I want to be in on the Bears. I'm a believer in them. I'm a believer in the coach, the quarterback, a lot of the roster construction. But the Eagles off that loss on Sunday, they might have a little extra burr in their saddle. And as Triple Cena Truck is so keen to point out all the time, anytime I pick against the Eagles, they usually win running away. So I'm going to go to Sunday night and I'm going to take the Broncos. I think the Commanders are one of the worst teams in the entire NFL. Even if Jane Daniels comes back, I don't know why he would. If you're the Commanders, I would tell him, take a seat, enjoy the rest of the season from the sidelines, and we'll regroup for next year. So I'm taking the Broncos to cover I think they could hold the Commanders to like 10 points.
Really? I think I saw some stat or a story that this is the second time or first time since game 2 that the Commanders will have their receivers back together as far as McLaurin
and Samuel.
Debo, yeah, and then whoever the third guy is.
Well, it depends who you want to beat name as the third guy, because on their injury report still currently listed, Noah Brown is on IR. Traylon Burks is questionable, and even Jalen Lane is questionable.
I'm glad you took that game because I wanted to stay clear of it.
Did you?
Yes, because I'm taking Philly all day. And
all right, that's good. Now I have a reason to root for the Bears today.
Yeah, I'm taking Philly right away here. We discussed this earlier in the show, and we talked with Zach Pearson from Chicago, and I just don't like all the injuries at linebacker for Chicago.
They're banged up. But think of like the Bears defense has been kind of parts together all year. Like their secondary has been injured, decimated so far this year, and they've just had guys step up and they lead the league in interceptions. Fair. So I think it might be a little. I think Dennis Allen's done a really good job with that defense. He's an excellent coordinator. Didn't fare so well as a head coach down in New Orleans, but I think the Bears just have a little bit of that, FU attitude right now, that they're exceeding a lot of expectations, and it's gonna like Zach Pearson pointed out this morning, like Bears are gonna have to win this turnover battle. They have almost every game this year, if not every game. I think maybe save that Baltimore one they lost, and I like them to be pesky in this game.
I just look at it like you can say that about Chicago. I think Philadelphia was embarrassed last year.
Well, they last week.
Last week, pardon me.
Oh, they were like 24 unanswered to the freaking Cowboys.
So they were, so I think they'll be out for blood, and I think that crowd's going to be nuts today.
At the link.
Oh,
Frank's going to be there, probably throwing batteries at Caleb Williams, bouncing him off his helmet.
Guess who my new best friend is now, too? Triple C in a truck.
Yeah, I bet.
You the man, KK. He says Jalen Hurts, 1 interception all year. We're not worried. I bet he doesn't throw a pick today.
I bet he doesn't throw the ball first.
No,
I think they'll try and with those injuries at linebacker. I think
you think
they'll
it's
try and run.
Big Saquon Barkley.
I think the Eagles try and run it down their throat, but they haven't had as much success doing that this year to any team.
Do you think Hurts runs the ball a lot?
I wouldn't be shocked to see it.
Yeah. How many? And I don't want to even say receptions. How many targets do you think AJ Brown gets today?
If it were me, I'd give him none. Shut up and play your game. But he'll probably have a handful, I would think.
I would think he's going to have more than a handful. Like he's going to have
the real problem with that situation is that he is very good. Like he's an excellent receiver. Now, at this point, do I think Devontae Smith might be better? He obviously doesn't have the size advantage that AJ Brown does, but he's excellent on contested balls, even with his smaller stature and slim frame. I like Devontae Smith a lot. I'd be feeding him. Forget AJ Brown. Kick rocks.
And Devontae Smith's playing. He was, questionable.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like he's good to go.
What's funny? So you pick on
Monday,
and that's such a gimme pick. You can't take that. That's just not fair. That's such a gimme pick.
What, you don't like the Giants to make a game of it?
Dart's playing though, is he?
I don't know if that's for sure yet.
I thought it was. I think he's playing. So New England -7. I mean, come on, Duke. Why do you get the easy ones?
Oh, yeah, right.
Triple C says it's going to be a rout. Or in Sam the Record Man terms, that would be a root.
He's going to root them. Root for the home team.
There were tons of texts earlier with our conversation, Duke, about Oilers and where they're at defensively. And again, this is a total team defense thing. Tons of texts. I really appreciate so many that came in. That was pretty hard to keep track of all of them. Was there anyone that I missed, Duke, that maybe needs to get thrown on the air here?
Hard to say. I piecemealed my way through them, but a lot of them were. I will say, like, and we kind of fall into this. I don't know if it's a trap, but right, like we read messages like the ones you did about that are crazy.
Yeah,
and it's kind of more so just to point out how crazy they are. There is plenty of people that are much more level-headed about the situation, and by listeners, fans, texters that text in and say like, yeah, 100%, the goalie tandem needs to play better, can be better. Bowman should be working the line, seeing what's out there. But the team has to be better in front of them.
Yeah.
And that is the vast majority of the messages that kind of fell in right after that little discourse you had. And I think that that's an encouraging sign from the fan base to recognize that, just like everybody thought switching the goalie coach would solve all the problems. Yeah, it's not that easy. Just switching the goalie will also not solve all the problems. It can solve some problems if you get a better goaltender, but it's not going to automatically turn this team into a President's Trophy club.
Duke, you're going to make mistakes. You're always going to have
a game
mistakes.
of mistakes.
And the mistakes are going to result in goals. But I think, and we touched on this so many times during the course of the week, you got to just play as hard as you possibly can. And if you play as hard as you possibly can on each and every shift, more often than that, good things are going to happen, which almost is where I'm going back how we started the show, Duke, with the message about John Madden.
Yeah.
And how his philosophy was with basically he had 3 rules when he coached. And it was show up on time, pay attention, and play like hell. And it's such a simple, there's like 10 words in all of them, all 3 rules, but it makes so much sense. And here's a text from Trevor. Morning, guys. Hockey's still one of those great sports where if you compete hard, you have a chance regardless of skill. The Oilers' compete level has been lacking for many regular seasons. Fortunately, they pick it up in the playoffs, but will always beat skill. And we saw that in games 5 and 6 of the Stanley Cup final last year. I mean, the want, the will, the desire that Florida showed on each and every shift, the Oilers never matched it. And again, we're a long ways from where the playoffs are, and we're a long ways from where the Oilers want to be. But I mean, it's going to have to start here sooner than later, for sure. What a great week. That was awesome. Thanks, everybody, for texting in. So many great texts. Appreciate your opinions. Everybody's entitled to them, for sure. We love them all, and we really like you being a part of the show. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is
Fantasy Frenzy
with
the former Rush Chef T-Bird,
Connor Halley, and the Duke of Delburne. At 12 o'clock, it's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell. 2 till 6, Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show. We got Fox Sports all night. And then, hey, man, we got the Triple S in the morning at 9. Then we'll have Josh Fenwick and Paul Sir with Hoop City at 10 to 12. And before you know it, at 1 o'clock, the Duke will be back here with the pregame show with the Oilers. Is that correct, Duke? Oh, man, what a week for the Duke. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by First Round. And, hey, man, you can get down to First Round here in the next 2 hours. You can watch the Black Friday game between the Eagles and the Hawks. Plus, you could win an NFL helmet, maybe. You could win a jersey. You can have the Pro Bowl brunch. You can do it all. Only at NFL's NFL headquarters, First Round, downtown or on Bourbon Street. Once again, hey, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for all the great texts. We will see you back here on Monday morning with Eddie Steele. Hope you have a fabulous weekend. Until then, here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
NHL back on the ice today for a 15-game Black Friday slate. One game already underway with the Lightning and Red Wings tied at 1 after the first period. Couple win streaks on the line when the Avalanche play the Wild. Calgary taking on Florida. Sharks take on Canucks. Blues facing the Sens. Brady Tkachuk making his return in that one. Vegas hosting Montreal. Winnipeg plays Carolina. Toronto in Washington. And Dallas hosts Utah in the nightcap. Off the ice, Montreal signing Mike Matheson to a 5-year extension carrying a cap hit of $6 million. Matheson currently in the final year of an 8-year, $39 million deal. At the junior level, Oil Kings down in Red Deer tonight. Spruce Grove Saints host Surrey at the Thompson Family Arena. Puck drop at 7. Crusaders are down in Brooks. And in the AJ, Drayton Valley and Bonnyville, both with home games just outside the city. NFL resuming Week 13 action today with the Eagles hosting the NFC North leading Bears in Philadelphia. Kickoff coming at 1 o'clock. 11 games on the hardwood, including Cleveland, Atlanta. The East leading Pistons hosting Orlando. Nuggets take on the Suns. And the Thunder take a 10-game win streak into their game against Phoenix. Canadian Olympic curling trials finals underway with Rachel Holman's rink taking on Nova Scotia's own Christina Black in the first of a best of 3. Final rock in the third end, They're throwing right now, Holman leading 1-0. Men's final between Dunstone and Jacobs getting underway at 4. And at the collegiate level, in the city tonight, Ooks, Griffins, Bears, and Pandas volleyball, all with home matches. Pandas hockey playing Trinity Western at the Drake, and Ooks women's hockey take on RDP from the Nate Arena. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie Ann Douglas. I'm Brennan Douglas at your Sports